Right. Hello, everyone. There we go. All right. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm just opening up some pineapple juice. I'm drinking some pineapple juice. Rawr. All right. I hope you guys are doing good. I wanted to, so you guys can see, obviously, that I have a different character. So I got rid of my elementalist because the reason was that I didn't necessarily, it wasn't that I disliked the idea of what he was, but I was thinking like I already have an elementalist and I really wanted to do a class, a profession that I don't have yet because I already have an elementalist. And it was one of the reasons why I deleted like my second mesmer that I had because I'm like I already have a mesmer. I want to like spread out and use some of the other ones. That's why, you know, the recent playthrough that we did that I guess at some point I'll continue, but it was the Paragon, right? And then I'm doing a Dervish right now as well because those are all characters that I've never really had on this account. I had a Paragon actually. Before Guild Wars 2 came out, I was like a heavy Paragon player. But I wanted just something like I didn't want to have the same stuff, you know what I mean? So I made this guy. He is a Melandru's Accord. So he's a hardcore character, Doom's Covenant. He hasn't died. He has all three still. He is level 12. I have gone through Ascalon. I just finished today. I finished Nolani Academy, got to Yaxbend. I did like one quest out here. But I did like almost every side quest here. There's a couple I didn't do the Pike and Square one where they have you. I want to check something out. I want to see because there wasn't. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. But there were no quests out here. Pike and Square. The only quest I didn't do, I think, unless they have like whole bunch of new ones. Let's see, Undertaker. Nope. Yeah, I've done all of these quests. The only one I haven't done is this one because you got to go to the Flame Temple corridor, and that's like way out here somewhere, and that's like kind of scary to me because there's also right outside of Greenwich Courtyard, and I didn't even realize this, like because the Ascalonian foothills are right over here, but I never realized that like right around here, like I think they start here and they patrol past it. Hey, this game is called Guild Wars. It should be in the description, I think. It's just Guild Wars, the first Guild Wars. I'm playing the first Guild Wars. But there's Hydras around, and Hydras are extremely dangerous. And until I have like a full team with heroes that are equipped, I don't think I want to deal with Hydras. I mean, I'm gonna have to deal with Hydras in the desert, and that's gonna be the I think gonna be the like moment. Yeah, welcome Matthias. How are you? Yeah, we're playing Guild Wars 1. Tomorrow will be Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 has a big update coming tomorrow, so we're going to be playing that tomorrow. But right now, actually I'm going to take Reyna. But right now we're doing Guild Wars 1, because then that way we can kind of balance what we're doing. I wasn't sure if I was going to stream today, but I figured, why not? I've been playing this all day anyways. Okay, so I did actually one quest here that I finished, but as you guys can see, before I do the primary quest, or while I'm doing that, I want to do all of these. There's a ton of them, and many of them give me skills. So one of the things that with the Melandru's Accord characters, to deal with those guys is that you don't have the skills that are unlocked on your account, so you have to separately buy them. But I own all of these skills. That is not a lot of skills, and many of them are kind of useless as well. So I'm kind of struggling with that a little bit. But I made a protection monk right now, with a little bit of divine favor to help with the healing. Yeah, so this is the character that I have right now. How do you play? What do you mean? How do I play? I downloaded and I click the buttons I need to play. I don't know. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. I just don't. I legit don't understand the question. Like I play on PC, if that's what you're wondering. Like this is a PC game. But they have it available on Steam Deck. Like the features? Ow. Like the features. My name is Leo. Okay. I don't understand. I don't know what features are. I know what an owl is. And your name is Leo? I don't understand. Okay, anyways, I got a bunch of skills here, none of which I want to use. Fragility is really good if you have a condition-based illusion, magic, mesmer. But channeling, tracing. When you cast a spell, you gain 1 energy for each foe in the area. That's not bad. Channeling is pretty good, and I might later on look into using that as my like an energy management thing, because you can later on, obviously it lasts for 8 seconds now, but that's because I don't have any points in inspiration. But if I put, let's say I put 9 in inspiration, see how cool, how much that goes up, and it's only at 9 inspiration. 9 is pretty much probably where I would be at anyways. Hey, how are you? I love dinosaurs. Can I get shut out? I don't... Guy, I don't know what these questions mean. What do you mean, can I get shut out? Yeah, I can shut you out if you want me to. How are you, dinosaurs? I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome back. Anyways, so we're not using any of those skills. I don't care. I don't care. Power Spike, I don't care. So we have Power Spike available, which is a domination spell. If the target foe is casting a spell or chant death skill is interrupted, the target foe takes 30 damage, and that's without putting any points into domination. So that shows you how powerful domination magics are. Domination magic spells are. Okay. So I gotta do a bunch of these quests. Most of these take place like around here. Wayward Monk, I want to do that because I get some monk spells, and then I think so I think I'm gonna prioritize doing that. Do we have an accord? Where's that from? Pirate voice? Is that from like that's from Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Caribbean? I know there's an age-old discussion whether which it is, you know. Alright, so I'm doing a protection monk right now. So I'm going to be looking at my UI nonstop, because that's kind of what you have to do as a... Oops. I was going to help attack. Jack Sparrow, yeah. I figured. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking of, like, do we have a deal, right? Obviously, we can't really, like, that doesn't have the same thing, but that's from, like, Has-Been Hotel, you know? So, because Alistair, like many other people, is my favorite character. I know, it's very, I don't know. It's very, what everyone else has been doing, but, you know, it's fine. Well, yeah, I know what an accord is. But that's what I'm saying. That's why it reminds me so much of Alistair. Because Alistair be making all them deals. Okay, where are those? Aren't those like rangers that come run by here? Maybe that's only after I do a certain mission or something, but I'm going up here. I'm going up here. So I got these pants. Deal or no deal, Howie Mandel. I actually love Howie. So these pants, these are, so as you guys can tell, these four, I have not gotten. I've been really frustrated because I have no way of getting glittering dust or whatever it's called, the dust thing. I've broken down everything and I keep not getting dust, and it's driving me absolutely insane. So I still have the starter scalp design. But anyways, I did get the monk armor. I did get an energy radiant rune or insignia or whatever it is, and then I got a survivor one in there as well. So that's kind of nice. I got those very recently. But then I colored the pants and the shirt. So usually they're all this like weird gray green, greenish gray. But I colored them, and I colored them differently because I was trying different things. So the top is actually just brown, but it came out very light. It almost looks like, I wonder what a brown white would look like on that, because it looks almost like it's a brown mixed with a white on there, and it's not, because it's only the darker spots that you can see underneath, like that is what gets colored, right? So the back stripe here, that gets colored. So I was trying to figure out, like, you know, different color combinations. So the pants, actually, the pants are brown and yellow together, and actually I thought they came out pretty cool. They look pretty. I like that color because it's not quite like a super dark brown, but it also it highlights the design on the pants, which I think is really, really cool. So I do like this armor a lot. But yeah, there you go. Tuesday, I know. Oh, so exciting. I'll be live probably tomorrow afternoon. Probably. Oh, I keep thinking I was doing up until now I was doing a smiting monk. And I want to be more defensive now that we're going into like more dangerous territory. So I'm doing like defensive stuff. This only lasts for 5 seconds, which really sucks. I really need something that makes enchantments. That's one of the things that protection monks really profit from, because many protection spells are enchantments, and so having something that makes enchantments last longer is really, really good. So I'm going to be looking for some kind of mod for my character at some point in time. Yeah, we did it. This is not pre-searing. We're way out of pre-searing. I didn't even, on this character, I didn't even do any pre-searing quests. I went immediately to like post-searing as soon as I could. Because I realized that like pre-searing, if you're looking to level, going into the core game, pre-searing does an awful job. It doesn't really level you all that much. So I figured I'd just skip it and go into here. So I'm in post-searing. I'm 100% in post-searing. And I've already done core Ascalon, so I've already done the first 3 missions. First 4 missions, I'm sorry. Great Northern Wall, Fort Rannig, Ruins of Sirmia, and Nolani Academy. So the first 4 missions are done. And we're now tackling the mountains. And having recently... oh, maybe if I break this down, I can get some... Nothing gives me piles of dust. So stupid. I think protection monks are incredibly undervalued. If you equip them correctly, I think they're better than ritualists even. Because a lot of people always talk about like using shelter and like Union and all that, like Shelter, Union, and the other spirit, as like a defensive type. And yes, it is more effective, like talking about the numbers, but the problem is you're dealing with spirits, which means that any AoE attack is going to completely obliterate those spirits. And that's one thing that protection monks don't have to worry about, and that's why I prefer protection monks. If you equip them correctly... Ooh, I have a holy staff here. I've been using this staff that I have, which I think might be a unique skin. I haven't really seen a skin like this before. And it kind of glows, so you guys might be able to see that it glows a little bit. It's really cool. It looks really, really nice. But I just got this one, which already gives me one... recharge your spells, 7 to 10 fire damage, and armor against piercing damage. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit, but I think we're gonna be finding some good equipment here. An old warrior monk a few weeks ago that had an enchantment 10%. Kind of wish some class and had some staff once after weapon masteries. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what the dual classing is for, right? I mean, I guess what you're saying is about like doing damage with your wand and stuff like that, and actually having the stats on the wand mean something. So I get that. That's kind of missing in Guild Wars 1 for sure. Oh my goodness. Girl, I'm gonna need you to figure it out. This shit is not okay. She died. I cannot believe my healer died. Can you guys, like, attack, please? Oh my god, what a disaster. Sit down. The knockdown is still very... Yeah, and skills for them. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's already enough skills out there, but I see what you're saying. I get that. Oh my god. So Shielding Hand is like one of the better ones that I have. For sure. Yeah, these guys are tough. Holy crap. Imagine range warrior but using staff wand instead. I mean, that would be cool. It's just, you know, I really wish Guild Wars 2 would do more of that, you know. Oh, I don't have a thing. I can't. Okay. I can't break it down. I used the last of my expert one. I gotta buy one. That's okay. Artemis the Ranger. Oh. Unfortunately, I only have 3 protection prayer spells, which kind of sucks. And they're not super powerful. They're pretty, like I said, Shielding Hands is pretty good, but... Marissa of Fortune is not bad either. Guardian kind of sucks. Guardian is pretty kind of shitty. For 5 seconds, you have a 50% chance to block attacks. I mean, it's like... Watch Warrior get a short bow, but it's a melee weapon. I don't know. People have been saying this kind of stuff for so long, right? That it's like... I don't know how they would pull that off, right? Like, it's one of those things where people have been saying, like, oh god, Artemis is gonna die. You know, people have been saying, like, oh, Warrior's gonna be dual wielding a shield. How would that work, you know? Like, it's stuff like that that I don't think absurd ways of using weapons is ever gonna happen in Guild Wars 2. So, I mean, how would you use a bow in melee, right? I don't know. Okay, Artemis doesn't have anything for me. We have a collector here though. But I'm curious to see what weapons we're gonna get next. That I'm 100% curious about. All right, I gotta talk to you for one of the things, and you will then give me another quest. And what do you collect, my friend? Like your main hand shield, and we already have the offhand, so there's your dual wield. No, I know, but how would that how would that work though? Like that's just really weird. Like that's a weird combo to me, you know? Like it's just very absurd. I mean, you know, I guess there's like certain fantasy tropes where it's just like, you know, I think of like Urza from Fairy Tale, who has like her big shield armor where she wields this like two pieces of a shield, and then she puts it together and she creates like this defensive thing. But like, I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I just don't think that Arena is gonna do something like that. For one reason or another. I don't know why, but there's just something in my brain that's I'm like, I don't think Arena is gonna do something like that. I would kind of like to see that, but I don't know how that would work. And the thing also is, rather than adding a shield to offhand, I would rather have them work on offhand shield, because offhand shield on almost every single class sucks asshole. So it would be nice not to have that. And the other two would do other shit. Kind of like my idea. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Sorry, I gotta respond. This guy that I work with, he like, oh, perfect. This is the healing prayers for 30 seconds. Vigorous Spirit is really, really good. Vigorous Spirit is like, it costs 5 energy and lasts for 30 seconds. Each time target ally attacks or casts a spell, that ally is healed for 6 health. This is a really powerful spell that I think I might put on my bar, because I'm not really removing hexes. Divine Boon. This is a divine favor. While you maintain this enchantment, whenever you cast a protection defense that targets that. Oh. I think I might take that. Pacifism. For 50 seconds, target for that one is a dumb. Oh, hello. So I'm maintaining that on myself. Okay. So I just want to... Yeah, look at that. So I'm healing for 46 every time I use a... This is a really good spell. And I lose 1 energy. So it's kind of costly, but... not much is free to get new weapons based on current weapons. I really think we should go outside the box and give us entirely surprise the community. Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing though. Is it feasible, right? Like, the question is, like, is it a good idea? You know, it doesn't really matter in the sense of like is it feasible? Oh god, this is gonna be pretty rough. I'm gonna step away from that. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. No, I don't want to die. Please take care of them. Dude, Ettins are such a nuisance. This is scary, you guys. They could base entire new weapons on skins that already exist maybe to help with that aspect, but Still entirely new skills in the bar. Yeah, and animations too. I mean, they would have to make new animations, because if they add new weapons and just reuse old animations, then people are gonna feel really kind of betrayed, because they're gonna be like, well, you added new weapons, but then you're just reusing old animations. Like, for example, they add like a great axe. You know, instead of like we have a hammer and we have a great sword, and then you have this great axe in game, and it just uses hammer animations and greatsword animations, right? And people are like, well, what's the point of adding that, right? Like, I think that's one of the things, you know, animations on like characters and like how the characters move and how they use the weapons and stuff, I think would be a very important part in that. And I think that's just not feasible on these. If we still had like big expansions, if we still had like expansions where, you know, it's like, I don't know, where it's like just, you know, still like, you know, we get like a whole set of elite specializations, blah blah blah. I could totally see that being a thing, but without that, I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, and I don't know. I just think, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people would be disappointed in that, right? Like, people would be like, well, what's the point in adding weapons? Like, and I agree, you know, it's like, the problem that I have with adding new weapons and stuff like that is like, I really, like, for me, many of the Secrets of the Obscure weapons, when they added those, still feel really clunky to me, right? Like, I think many of them still don't really have like a proper identity. Yes, some of them are really cool, like the Ranger ones. Those are really cool, whatever, right? Like, I get all that. Let me see, is there anything else that I need to do here before I walk all the way back? No. Okay, perfect. So but it's just, I don't know, I just look at that and I just think I'd rather have them completely redo certain weapons rather than spend time creating new weapons when you have weapons that are lackluster, right? Because the problem that I see is like, if you keep adding new weapons in and making the new weapons feel really, really cool, and which they have done since forever, whenever a profession gets a new weapon, it always is way better than the other ones, and it has like new animations and it has cool things with it and cool like whatever going on, right? Then it's always like, it feels bad having the other weapons, and we're at a point now where there's so many weapons that just feel like shit that I'm at a point where I'm like, I'd rather just not have them make new weapons. Like, look at the weapons you have available. Like, Warrior Greatsword, for example, is one of the most boring weapons ever. It's so plain, it's so whatever, right? Because they wanted the warrior to be just like this plain warrior, right? But over the years, we've added like all these new like animations and things they can do, and like, you know, the game has really changed to the point where it's like, okay, this doesn't hold up anymore. And so it would be really nice to see like a complete overhaul of that weapon, you know? We have the chainsword for skin, for sword, basically a whip, foci that looks like fist. Lots of examples. Staff skin that look like a battle axe. Double-sided swallow for staff. Scythe skin. That's why they suddenly do complete revamps to weapons that are falling behind. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, I think that is the best way for them to add new weapons. Like, right now, I'm playing my Revenant a lot, and I'm using it's a Condi, like power Condi hybrid, whatever, and mostly Condi, but I use a short sword on it, or a short bow short bow on it, but I'm using the slingshot skin, which I think is like the only really unique short bow skin, because it's the only one that doesn't look like a short bow. There was a video, and I talked about this. There was a video a long time ago that I think I still have the notes for, that I wanted to talk about those types of weapon skins, because there's a ton of them out there, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize. Do I still have that? Let's see, is it in here? No, this is before Janthia Wilds, so this I don't have it in here. I probably have it in my other. They already changed staff on Necro to be more support healing, but I think it needs another big revamp to get rid of the fucking marks. It's not even the marks that suck. The problem is the revamp, and this is where I think their design philosophy gets completely like, or it's not even design philosophy. It's where their like internal way of doing things completely gets lost on me, because they didn't revamp staff. They revamped one trait that revamps staff. So if you want to use staff effectively, you have to use that trait. And that really sucks to me. I'm like, why are we forcing people that want to use a specific weapon to use that trait? Because without that trait, the staff has the exact same skills that it's always had, with the same exact effects that it's always had, right? And so, again, those skills are from 2012, and they have seen like a couple updates here and there, but Necro Staff is one of those weapons that's mostly remained pretty much the same, okay? And then they just redid the trait in order to redo the staff, and it's like, why didn't you just redo the staff weapon? Like that, it's so weird because they've never done that before. And all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, all of your skills on this weapon change because you're taking this trait. I hate that, because that forces you, again, like, it forces you in a specific play style. And it doesn't open up the options of like, oh, we can play around with this and this and this, right? Like, I hate that. Even has unique animations, very different to short bow. Yeah, it's really cool. I really love, and no one uses the slingshot ever. No, I've never seen anyone use a slingshot. And so I use a slingshot all the time. I don't care. I don't want to use a short bow. I think short bow sucks. So I'm using my slingshot. I love it. It's a cute little slingshot. And he pulls back the band and he shoots the, you know. And the thing, it kind of works because the projectiles that you shoot don't really look like arrows. They look like little, you know, they have like these like ball animations, kind of, you know, because it's like magical arrows that you shoot or whatever. So it kind of fits with the slingshot anyways. So I really like that. But there was a whole video that I had about the weapons that are different, like the foci. I love focus as a weapon. And when you look at the foci skins, there's so many really cool ones because they're different, right? There's mugs, goblets, chains, skulls, you know, magical whatever, right? We have the celestial compass, we have the magical like whatever. There's so many, like a piece of bloodstone. You have so many different ones. You have the little plush one that's like a little teddy bear that you can hold, right? There's the hourglass. There's so many really unique foci skins that don't look like necessarily something that would be a focus, right? No, I mean, you could say, yeah, a teddy bear could be a focus for a ritual, right? Like, God knows, whatever. In fantasy, you could make anything happen. But, like, you wouldn't see that necessarily, right? Like, that is a little bit outside of the norm of what a focus would be. And I really, really love that. Missing and make a Link cosplay. Just don't know what class Link would be. Ranger perhaps, but I hate shortbow and Ranger. You could do that, or yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you could do Thief. I like the Voodoo Doll foci. That's a good one too. And they have a scepter that has that as well. The improvised scepter is a little voodoo doll on a stick. Like, that's really cool. Like, the scepter as well. The scepter, they go out, the scepters, they have so many really cool, unique scepter skins that don't necessarily look like a scepter, right? Like, they have the Academy wand, or whatever it's called, the one that looks like a Harry Potter wand, right? And so that's like, that's not really a scepter, that's a wand. Yes, it's also a magical tool, but it's different, right? Like, that's not exactly the same thing, but that's kind of cool, right? Or they have the magical girl scepter, right? Where it's like, where, you know, that's completely different than when you hold like an actual scepter, you know? And that's really cool to me. And I feel like that's what they should really step into more, right? They have the one hammer skin that looks like an axe. And that's awesome to me. So that way we don't need to add great axes into the game. We just need to add more of those skins in, right? Like, I don't think that there's any place for scythes in the game at all. Like I think we have enough scythe skins in the game to just keep that, right? Like it would just be really cool if Revenant melee staff was a little better, right? Like and it's also the 3 that are using them as melee weapons, 2 of them are healing weapons, right? On Revenant and Warrior, they're both healing weapons. Only the Thief has it as a damage dealing weapon. So I don't know, that there's a little imbalance there, I feel like, to have it as a scythe. You know, but my favorite scepter is the long staff size one with the fiery blaze on the tip. Yeah, we talked about that last time, I remember. But yeah, I think that, like, instead of adding new weapons, it would be so much easier for them to make sure that all of the weapons are updated and they feel really good, and then you can add other things into it, right? Like, I would love to see more magical shield skins where they don't look like shields, but that they're like, you know, they're like almost like foci, but then you know, obviously they pull it out and the animation has it on their arm, but like when they have it on their back, it's just like, you know, an orb or something, right? And it's like sitting on their back, and then they pull it out, and then they have it on their arm, and it's actually like creates like a magical shield. Like, that would be really cool to me. I would really like that. But every shield skin, almost every shield skin, there's a couple that step outside of that, but almost every shield skin is just some kind of variation of just a regular shield, right? Like, yes, they look fancy and they look whatever, and right, we have an aquarium we can have and whatever, right? There's like different ones, you know, but for the most part, they all look like just their shield, some kind of shield, whether they're a round shield or, you know, like a triangle looking shield or whatever. So it's like, I would like for them to step outside of that. You know, how can you make different skins for existing weapons that feel like other weapons? That's what I would like to see. And then look at the existing weapons that you have in game and revitalize those, right? Like I said, all of the shield, like Engineer, Warrior, Guardian is okay. I think they could do still some updates. I think Guardian and Revenant are okay, but they definitely need some like upgrades to it. I feel like they definitely they feel a little lackluster. I think they could be a little bit better. Definitely Warrior 100% needs it. You know, there's a bunch of weapons that I want them to look at, really, if I'm honest, you know, and just like update it with new animations, update it with like new things, and really bring, and it's not necessarily about like power creep and making them more powerful, but it's just like add some new animations in there, because like some of them have like really outdated animations and some of them feel really stupid. Like, a lot of people really hate Guardian Scepter. But I really think there's a space for a Guardian Scepter, you know? I'd love an invisible shield skin for Guardian, so we can have Aegis effect be the shield instead of actual shield. That'd be neat. I mean, we have a hide weapon button. Right, yeah, so... Or you could have something that fits perfectly, because there's some shield skins where the shield from the Aegis fits perfectly onto the shield, but what if you had a shield skin that was perfectly outlined, right? To the point where when you have it on, the Aegis shield is exactly right on top of that, and so it just looks like you're using that shield, but it's empowered by this Aegis, right? And so, like, it's just perfectly around that. Like, they could have a shield that fits perfectly on the Aegis shield, right? Like, not to have an invisible shield skin, so I don't know, you know? But I see what you're saying too. Like, I'm saying that as an alternative, like maybe having both. Yeah, the engineer throw shield skin or skill is such a cool idea. Obviously, like when we look at like Captain America and stuff like that, it's like kind of badass. And I remember I played one of the characters that I played that I really enjoyed in WoW was a paladin, and they had, I mean, I don't know now, you know, obviously this is like, you know, 12, 13 years ago now, but they had like a throw shield skin or a skill that you could do where you could throw your shield and it would bounce between different enemies. Oh man, it was such a badass skill. I really love that skill. I remember that. Sorry, my lips are really dry. And yeah. I think my heat has just been going like crazy today, so ooh, I don't know if I can do this. I think I'm gonna skip that. Because that's completely going into enemy territory, and I don't think I want to do that, so. But yeah, like I said, I think that rather than adding more skills and creating more bloat, because let's be real, like, when you look at something like, when you look at something like the balance patch that we just had, right? And you look at the warrior section, the warrior didn't get jack shit. Like, to put it lightly, the warrior didn't get anything. Like, it was garbage. So ArenaNet already has issues, you know, on the major balance patch, giving people or giving all professions major updates. So the more we add, the more skills we add, the more things we add, the harder it's going to be for us to be getting proper balance patches. Because there's only, as far as I can tell, there's only 3 people working on balance. Okay? It's the 3 people that are always on stream. They're the only ones that seem to be working on it. I've never heard anyone mention anyone else ever. It's always on the streams. It's always, I worked on this, he worked on that, I worked on this, I worked on this, right? And so it's always, it's those 3 people that are doing balance, and they're absolutely not having, they don't have, like, they don't have enough time to be doing that. They don't have enough time to work on the balance. Like, it's not working out. And so I'm scared for the future when it comes to balance, because I don't think that they have what it takes to keep the balance, like, keep balance patches major in that sense. Like, I just don't see it happening. When they first announced, oh, we're gonna do it every 3 months, in the beginning they were big and they were like, whatever. And I'm not talking about like the direction that they're taking with them, because I like the direction that they're taking with the balance patches, but the impact that they have, I feel like they're too small. Like, we really only get, out of the 4 balance patches that we get a year, there's only 1 that really has a big impact. And only getting pretty much 1 major balance patch a year is just not enough. They need to be doing way more changes. They need to be doing a lot more revamping of older stuff, and bringing things up to snuff, and fixing, like, things that are bugged. There's so many skills that are still bugged, that misbehave, and, you know, that are being bad little boys. Oh my god, what was that damage that just happened there? That was a huge damage spike. My good god. Sit down. So, that's... Can I ask about Guild Wars 2? Always! Go right ahead. Oh, now the chat pops up on here. That's interesting. My multi-stream was not showing me TikTok messages, but now it is. It's kind of crazy. But it doesn't show up on stream. That's interesting. It doesn't show up on the YouTube, on the actual stream, Twitch and YouTube stream. Weird. But yes, go right ahead. What's your question about Guild Wars 2? Computer disconnected? Man, your computer sucks. I'm just kidding. I just started playing Guild Wars 2, but I can't use Trading Post. Yeah, so there is a, are you like on a free-to-play account? If you're on a free-to-play account, there is a, is there a time, guys, is there a time restriction, or is it a complete restriction on free-to-play accounts? I don't remember. I'm in the middle of battle. Hold on. Okay, who is hitting what? What is happening? Really? He's attacking me and you guys are just saying I'm not doing anything. Um, are you like brand new to the game? I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the features on a free-to-play account, and I'm trying to see what it says here. If you don't want to purchase Guild Wars 2 right away, you can play the entire core version of the game entirely for free. The caveat is that free accounts come with restrictions and certain features that could be used to disrupt the game experience for other users. Here's the breakdown of how free accounts differ from a core Guild Wars 2 game account, which you make when you purchase the game or one of its expansion packs. Okay, so free account, blah 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 blah. I love that it lists all of the professions and then it doesn't talk at all about you can play all the professions and they don't list Revenant, so Revenant isn't even mentioned at all. It's kind of weird. So what does it say? Because that's the thing, I'm looking at the trading, so it can buy and sell items from a select list. Gems to gold exchange available, gold to gems exchange unavailable. But it doesn't give me a time limit on this, right? All newly accounts must wait 72 hours before gems to gold transaction can be completed. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So you're gonna have to wait a few days to be using the trading post. So the reason they do that is because they're trying to minimize bots. Hey, how are you, Leah? Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. So they're trying to not have bots like in the game, like abuse the game. So they don't want like hundreds of bots just creating characters and then spamming the trading post and just, like spamming like stuff. So they're trying to minimize that, so they're actually putting restrictions on that. If you want those restrictions lifted, you can obviously purchase expansions, which if you're not sure about, you know, I mean, obviously as a partner, and oh, I need to put my partner stuff up. I am required to do so. I have to put my partner tag up. Sorry guys, I am an arena partner, just so you guys know that. Yeah, so unfortunately you have to wait if you don't want to purchase. So I just need to wait 4 days without purchase. Correct. Yeah, if you wait those 4 days, you will be able to use the trading post. Oh, did someone remove this divine boon? I had it up, didn't I? Thought I did. The wiki is probably better on this. The wiki always has way better information than any official website. That's the state of affairs when it comes to Guild Wars. The wiki is always better. It's like even the developers use the wiki more than their own internal information banks. Can you guys attack? I don't understand why these characters love to just stand there and not attack and just get completely demolished. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. See here. Yeah, so time requirement. I'm looking on the wiki right now. I actually, you know what? For everyone's. Oh, hey, Shadko, how are you? A long time no see. Oh, you missed listening to my voice. You're such a nice guy. That is very kind. I hope you're doing well. So it says on 5 day, the trading post limits ability to buy or sell certain items or remove 5 days after code application. Access to the guild vault, regardless of guild rank, will become available 5 days after code application. So yeah, you have to wait 5 days. That will be lifted. And then the thing is, you won't be able to completely listen, or blah. I read listen. I need to just focus. You won't be able to like trade everything. There's a select list. I don't know what's on that list. I've never had a free-to-play account, so I couldn't tell you that. But yeah. Try to bag my inventory expansion. Always had a problem with that. Yeah, that's unfortunately that kind of sucks. So you can craft bags as well. Yeah, you can craft bags. If I was in game, I would just send you one, but I don't think you can even receive mail right now. That is. Yeah, it's the inventory is a little bit of a problem. Fortunately, you can craft them and you can buy them. There's also, how is World vs. World restricted, guys? Does anyone know on free-to-play characters? Because the World vs. World has let me find. Huh. I guess you can play World vs. World. Because World vs. World has some really, like, if you only play a little bit of World vs. World, you can buy some 18 slot bags, and they're not that expensive, and they're fairly easy to get. So that is one recommendation that I always do. Are there restrictions for play-to-play accounts, or you just can't use elite specs? There is a lot more. There's a lot more in there. Like you can't. What is it? You can't. If you look on what I just linked, you can see there's a lot of information. So let's go through the limitations. I'm having such a hard time to read this because my ring light is right in the way of that. Stupid. I hate this stupid TV up there. Because it's too big, and there's just it's really annoying. So Guild Wars 2 core accounts do not have access to expansion features. In particular, they're not able to use gliding, skiffs, fishing, or unlock mastery points in Central Tyria. They're not able to buy any expansion-related items in the Gem Store or Wizard's Vault, but they can buy and use the items from other expansions on Trading Post. Some content is restricted until at least one character on the account has reached the minimum level requirement. Cannot compose mail until level 2, but may receive mail. Okay, so you can't write mail until level 2, which is just a tutorial. Map completion icons on world map hidden until level 2. Structured PvP icon hidden until level 3. World vs. World icon hidden until level 31. So you can't go into World vs. World until level 31. Wizard's Vault icon hidden until level 80. These game modes can still be accessed through the Asura Gate and Lion's Arch, or key binding the panels. Okay, well the thing is that you can't get into World vs. World key binding the panels? Really? You can key bind World vs. World and get into it? Because you can't, the thing is you can't get into Lion's Arch until level 30 or something like that, right? So hero challenges unlocked at level 11. Some content is restricted until sufficient real-world time has passed. So 3-day is the currency exchange in the gem store after account creation. All deposits and withdrawals to the guild vault after joining a guild for verified accounts. So that's 3 days. And then 5 days is the access to the guild vault regardless of guild rank. And then the trading post. 7-day, there's a restriction of 500 gold per week on the total amount any account may receive from a guild vault or via in-game mail. So you can only get $500 gold per week for the first week, because it says 7 days. So for the first week, you can only get 500 gold through the guild vault or in-game mail. If this is exceeded using the guild vault, then the withdraw button is grayed out. If exceeded using in-game mail, then when you hover over the take all button, you may see this would exceed the value allowed to be received by this account this week. The first 30 days following creation, a new account is limited as follows: amount of coin or item with assigned value can be mailed. However, any amount can be received. Okay, so amount of coin or item with assigned value that can be mailed. So you can't mail any items out, I guess, in the first 30 days. Value of items both deposited into and withdrawn from a guild vault. Okay, the amount you're allowed increases by approximately 1 gold every 10 hours. Oh, that's so weird. So every 10 hours, the value of what you can send or get out of the guild vault is increased by 1 gold every 10 hours. That's so weird. In-game mail. So for free accounts, in-game mail is limited to mutual friends. Prohibits sending coin and items, but they can both be received. Gem store is limited. Currency exchange is limited. Official forum posting is unavailable. Transferring to different worlds is unavailable. Bag slots, you only get 2 extra slots. You have a starter backpack, which is 20 that everyone gets, and then 2 instead of 4. So there's little restrictions. It's not like game breaking. I'm not gonna keep reading this, but yeah. So if I want to buy the expansion, which one do you recommend? It depends. So it depends on what you care about in the game. I think the best value for someone that's new to the game would be the very first expansion. Because the first 2 expansions are bundled together, and it's a really good deal because you get a ton of content, and it's also pretty much the next step of like where the story goes. The thing is that in between these expansions, there's also Living World seasons. So there's a core game, Living World Season 1, Living World Season 2, and then it's Expansion 1, Living World Season 3, Expansion 2, Living World Season 4, and from that point on, whatever, right? I'm not going to continue that, but so the first 2 expansions you can get, but then you're missing out on the Living Worlds that are in between and after those, and before. So you would have to get those separately if you're interested in getting all of the story, right? In order to see what the story looks like, you can press H in your hero panel, and you can go down to the story, and it'll outline the entire story to you, and it'll show you like how all of that goes. But yeah, the best value 100% is definitely the first well, hold on, let's see what they have. Because I don't know what the collections are like. Well, if you're looking for just I didn't mean to do that. What? I was gonna scroll. Oh, there we go. If you're just gonna get one Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns, it's $30, right? Like that's expansion 1 and expansion 2. You could do the Elder Dragon. What do you guys think? I want chat to chime in here. Can't gain masteries on other yeah. Let me see here. What about the Elder Dragon collection? That gives you, so that's a value of, that's all 3 of the first expansions, and that gives you, so that gives you expansion 1, 2, and 3 cost $50, and if you buy them separately, it's $60. So you're saving $10 there. Isn't there like a complete edition? Didn't they add something like that in there? See, I don't know why ArenaNet doesn't do that stuff. Like, is really, guys? They still haven't done a completed. I thought they did. I thought they had like a complete expansion, like a complete pack that had all of the stuff. That's so silly. I don't know why ArenaNet doesn't do that. I mean, that's like literally money waiting for them, and there's no reason for them to not do it. So, kind of dumb. But hey, who am I? I'm just some random schmuck. That's also, so Shatko has a really good point. The expansions frequently go on sale, and when they go on sale, they're on sale for like 50% off. Okay, like they actually go higher. They go from like 50 to 75% off. Like you can get like a really good deal on these sometimes. When were they last on sale? Does anyone know? It was recent, wasn't it? Like, yeah, year-end sales. So they went on sale December 11th, and they had the first and second expansion for 60% off, the complete edition for 50% off, the third expansion for 40%, the fourth expansion for 30%. So expansion 3 was 40%, expansion 4 was 30%, expansion 5 was 20%. So you can get really good deals if you wait. When do you guys think the next one is gonna happen? $50. Yeah, you get like a really good deal, right? It's called Dragon Saga something and has all the expansions with all the the Living World seasons are included in that? In the Dragon Saga collection? I didn't even see that. Really? That doesn't even... They don't even state that in there. Why wouldn't they state that in there? That's wild. Because it just says, like, Guild Wars Heart of Thorns, Guild Wars Path of Fire, Guild Wars End of Dragons, Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons. Right into battle. Explore without limits. New lands added in Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, and others are waiting for you in your adventure. Cheers. That's crazy. That's weird because they don't even describe that in here. I wonder if the wiki talks about that. What are we looking for? We're looking for expansions. Let's see. Just looking to see if the wiki has anything on it, but I don't see it. One with the Living World seasons, really? Where is that? Is that on the regular guild? Is that on the ArenaNet buy page? Because I can't find that. Maybe I'm just stupid. Hold on, let me look. No, that's just cycling through the same stuff. It's only a Steam thing and Epic? Really? Wow, okay, that's why? Oh, ArenaNet. Always making things complicated for everyone involved. Collections, I send a link. Let me look at this. It actually let you send a link. That's crazy. I think my bot is turned off again. Not that I ever use my bot, but sorry guys, we're on like this weird like sidetracky thing, but yeah, that's the Dragon Saga. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, and it has Living World season in there. That's for 99 bucks. What? Why is that not appearing on my? That's crazy because that does not appear on mine. How did you find that? Oh, because it's only like the complete edition? Oh. That's... Oh. That is so convoluted. Like, how would anyone even figure that out? Because here's the thing, when you go on there, it has standard for $49.99, deluxe for $74.99, ultimate for $99.99, and then complete for $99.99. That is so weird. That is so, like, why would ArenaNet do that? It's so weird. So what's the difference between ultimate and complete? So ultimate just has the 4,000 gems that the complete edition doesn't have. And the complete edition instead has the Living World seasons. Living World season 2 through 5. Got it. Yeah, okay. That is really... That is so... What's the word? There's a specific word I'm looking for. Like contrived, I guess. Is that is so not... Just why? Like, how would anyone figure that out? Like, someone that's buying the game that has no idea what they're buying, they don't know. Okay, so here's the answer. The best deal is the complete edition. If you go under Elder Dragon Saga Collections and you go on the different versions that it has, the complete edition, in my opinion, is the best value. Because you get the first 10 years about, right? Like, because I think, what? Didn't it release in like 2022, End of Dragons? And so that was like the 10-year mark, right? So you get the first 10 years of content for $99, for $100. And that is a ton of content. So that is, I think, and you guys can chime in chat, all of you guys, convoluted, contrived, conniving. It's a little conniving too. Like, ArenaNet is never that predatory with their like monetization, but that seems really like not, that's just being like, that's like being obscure for the like, just, I don't know, they should shove it into people's throat. I mean, yeah, at this point. But yeah, I don't know how you guys feel in chat, but I think the best value for those of you that are looking to get into Guild Wars 2 is probably the complete edition. My advice, though, is that if you're playing a free-to-play account, stick with that free-to-play account until they go on sale. Because you can get the complete edition sometimes for 50% off, and so you're saving $50. And you're getting, for $50, which is at this point cheaper than any retail game, you're getting 10 years worth of content. That is hundreds of hours. And I think anyone in chat, because I know all of you guys are veterans, you can all attest to this, that is a ton of content to go through for $50 if you're waiting for that sale. If it is half off, I mean, I don't know, they might do like 30% off, whatever that is. I would wait for whatever sale they're going on, that's going on. Let me see. So at the end of the year, the complete deluxe and standard editions were 50% off, like in it was December 11th, going for how long? Going until recently. They actually just became, like, last month, at the beginning of last month, that went out, but for 50% off. Yeah, you could get that for $50, but that is the best deal you can get, because you get all of this content, all these rewards, all of this stuff, and you get to keep it forever. Never have to worry about, like, and that is a lot of content. That is a ton. You get all these, like, elite specializations and stuff. I think that's a really good deal. Complete Saga, and then Soto and Janthier. If not thousands of hours. I mean, you know, I agree with you, Emily. Like, depends on how, like, the content that you want to play. But if you're playing all of the content and you'd like to be a completionist and really, like, keep playing all of the things and do all the achievements and get all of the skins, it is thousands of hours. I mean, it is a lot. You get definitely a lot more value out of it than any other game, I would like to think. Whoops, I didn't mean to cast that. So, also, hi, how are you, Emily? I'd say at least 1K hours worth of content, at least. I mean, again, it depends on how much you really want to play and how much you're interested in the game and the things you want to do in the game. But that is definitely the best value. If you're committed to the game and you want to at least spend, like, you know, really dig into it and gets out of it, that is the best deal. Obviously, that's not all the content. There's still 3 expansions after that come. There are smaller expansions, but they come after the Dragon Saga. That will also be then need to be purchased after the fact. But you will have so much to do with the first 3 expansions and all those, because that's 5 living world, or 2, no, that's 4 living world seasons that you have. It's 2 to 5 that you get with it. And like, while yes, the Icewood Saga wasn't the best, there's still a lot of content there. I'm doing good. I beat Core Story 80 plus times. That's 2-3K hours. Yeah, I mean, pretty much, right? My PC DCing, cold chill. Yeah, I know. My heat is going a little too much right now. Kind of regretting having that on blast so much. Ooh, look at this shield. That's a pretty cool shield, eh? I had this. I don't know if I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna kind of keep it for now, but I gotta get. Oh my god, look at all these enemies. This is not good, you guys. Stay warm. Yeah, how are you? How's your temperature over there? I'm sure you guys are much colder than I am. Than we are. Mish and I are pretty much in the same spot. Oh my god. It's kind of warm for you. I mean, I guess you could say that. I mean, our temperatures are getting pretty cold here too. I'm at 39 right now. I'm at 39 degrees right now. Let's see what it looks like for the forecast. Let's look at it here. It's gonna go down, well, not that crazy. It's gonna go down to like 32. It's gonna be 32 by like 5 a.m. But we did have, if we go back to like yesterday was at like 23 degrees. We're at like 23 degrees. I think wind chill on Sunday, was it Sunday? Saturday night? Saturday night, it was at like 22 degrees, and then we had like crazy winds going, so the wind chill made us go to like 9 degrees, I want to say. It was like 9-degree wind chill. I mean, it was... this is... what am I supposed to do here? I don't have a ball. You know what? I'm gonna try to pull these guys somehow. Yeah, no, I got the entire group going my way. This is insane. It's 42. Yeah, it's freezing here right now. Okay, my boon was removed. That's not very good. Okay, so we killed a couple of them. That's always good. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, now they want to move? They didn't move the whole time, and now they're moving. We're about to break our record for Winter's Day over 60. Shatco, 23 degrees Celsius here in Australia. Summer's over. It is when it's this cold. Do you have some warm blankets? Wait, are you talking to me? Because I live in blankets. You guys have no idea. I live in a house of my house is made of blankets. It is. I have like this weird obsession with buying blankets. Whenever I see comfy blankets, I need to buy them. It's kind of a problem. So I have like blankets everywhere. Like on my couch right now, there's 3 blankets, and I usually have 5 on there, and that's not even all. Then I have 2 more in my second bedroom. I think I have 4 in my master bedroom, and then my living room has another 3 blankets. Something like that. I have a lot of blankets. Like I could just like wrap myself up. I have one actually right here next to me. I have my cardigan here, which I'm not wearing right now because I'm not that cold actually. Like I've had the heat blast, and I have a blanket here as well. Comfy. This is such a comfy blanket. I love blankets. Doesn't do well when I have to type on the keyboard. I know, right? I love blankets. I need to go to your house. Dude, I just have blankets everywhere. And it's so funny because my sister was the one that was always like, she would always buy me blankets all the time for like Christmas and stuff. She would always buy me like nice blankets and like bedding, like new bedding stuff. Like many times she'd buy me new bedding stuff. And so I kind of like, I don't know, that's kind of where the whole thing started. And I got to the point where like my sister, I think I want to say it was like a few months ago, she kind of looked at me and she's like, you keep buying all these blankets, but you don't use them. I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, I nap in my blankets, and I like when I watch a movie at night, I hang out in my blankets, and sometimes I'll set up my computer in blankets or whatever, you know, like, you know, I sleep with different blankets sometimes, you know, it's just, I use them. The ones in the living room don't really get used because I tell you guys, I never hang out in my living room. My living room is my least. It's the room I always walk through to get anywhere, but I never hang out in my living room. It's a really comfy living room, but I don't really have a reason. I'm always in this game room, or I'm in one of my bedrooms. I always switch up which bedroom I sleep in. So I never hang out in my living room. So those blankets never get used. I think one time I used one of the blankets because one of the cats was sick, and so I put the cat on that blanket, and when she was sick, and I think she like I think I remember it was my last cat, one of my cats that I put down like a year and a half ago. And she like had a nose thing, and so she was always bleeding out of her nose, and she bled on one of my blankets. I remember that. I had to wash it and exchange it. But do you have some gloves? Yeah. So I mean I have gloves, but I don't really. You have cats? Well, I don't. So okay. So for those of you that don't know how my whole animal situation, so I personally only really ever had 1 cat and 1 dog, okay? But in the house, we had 3 dogs and 5 cats. Okay? So when my mom passed away, I had to take care of all those animals. So I at that point had acquired all of these extra animals. So I am from those 8 animals, I am now down to 1 last cat. Okay? I have 1 last cat. I actually pulled her in. She's sleeping. She's somewhere in the other room. I have the door closed. I don't care. Because she hates being inside. But she's my last one out of the 8 animals. She's 16 years old. All the other ones have passed away now. I have most of their ashes. Some of them I have buried in the backyard. But most of them, all of their ashes, I have a cabinet. I gotta take a picture for you guys. I feel like I should have done that a long time ago, but I have a little like a glass cabinet kind of thing, and I keep all of the ashes of my animals, and then my mom is on the bottom, because obviously my mom is like the biggest one out of them, and so she's like on the bottom, and it's like this kind of like pyramid shaped thing. So I have the cats on top, the dogs in the middle, and then my mom on the bottom, and so I have them all in there. But I have on the property, so my sister, just so you guys know, my sister who also streams, I think she was I watched her earlier, she was live. She does. She's on TikTok. For those of you that are interested, she does tarot readings and she talks about that sort of stuff. She does like more of the witchy stuff on TikTok. But she lives in the house with me because it's a duplex. So she lives on the other side, and she has 8 cats. I want to say it's 8. God knows. I can't keep track. So all of those animals live on the property, right? Because they're mostly outside cats. She takes some of them inside. She has some of them outside. But they all live on the property. So those cats, I kind of hang out with them. But they're technically not my cats. They just kind of live on my property kind of thing. So, I don't know. That actually went a lot better than I thought. So, there you go. I realized one of our cats tonight, he went out into this cold and refused to come back. He might just be, he likes the cold, so I'm not super worried, but he usually doesn't stay out there this long. Well, I've realized that many cats, like, when it gets that cold, they don't want to move. They just want to find a spot to wait out the cold. And that's one of the reasons I took that cat in, because she does that, but then she gets sick because she doesn't stay warm enough. And so she like hides in a corner somewhere all night long, and she gets sick because she's just too cold the whole night. And so she gets this like really bad sinus thing. And she can't breathe, and she like sneezes the whole time, and like she doesn't want to eat because she's just miserable. And so that's why I take her inside, because I'm like, I can't, I don't know, you're old, so it sounds tempting. Shako, you're a taken man. You can't speak like that. I'm just kidding. Our cats are indoor cats. We don't let them out. That's no idea why he always wants to escape. This cat that I have right now, she's a full-on outside cat. She's been an outside cat her whole life. She hates being inside. I mean, she sleeps now, but like once she's done napping, she just wants to go outside. She doesn't want to be in here. And I just, you know, I wish I could explain to her like, hey, it's like 30 degrees outside. The wind chill is like, you know, 15 degrees. Like, you need to stay in. You need to stay here. You can't go. But she doesn't understand. She just doesn't get it. You guys, she just doesn't get it. Uh-oh. Ettins. I'm running away from the Ettins. Because those guys hit hard. Protection monk is where it's at, you guys. Give me energy, Claude. Give me energy! The Claude casts Blood Ritual on you, which is amazing. It gives you more energy regeneration. It is awesome. Who said you will be included in this arrangement? Wow. Wow. I just got rejected. Hardcore rejected. That's fine. My feelings aren't hurt. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'll just add you to the long list of men that have rejected me over the years. It's okay. I'm not sad. Okay, I really want to use my Divine Boon. In my opinion, Florida has an outside cat problem. I know she would stop. Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why we took in so many cats, too, is because we were the type of people that, like, when we take them in, we get them fixed immediately. And, like, you know, so we know we take care of them better than other people do. So, longer or shorter than the women? Well, I haven't tried women, but probably if I had tried women, probably just as long. You guys have no idea how many times I get rejected in a year. I could write an entire series of novels about how many times I've gotten rejected in my life. I'm gonna kill these guys. Cats outside really harm the ecosystem. The best solution is to keep your cat at home and take them for walks. Yeah, well, that's never gonna happen. I have this last cat. She's probably gonna live a couple more years. I mean, she's 16 years old. She's she's like half blind. She's deaf. So, yeah. So once she's gone, that's it. Go for a trans, best of both worlds. I can include those in the list because I've tried that as well. I'll just say the list of people. It's a long list. You guys have no idea. But it's okay. I don't mind. Eventually, you know, the thing about that is like, it might be sad at first, but eventually you kind of get used to it. Like I was blocked by someone the other by a guy the other day, and it like I was just like at first I was like, whoa, okay, because we had like a great conversation, everything went fine, and then all of a sudden from like one day to the next he was like completely weird, and okay, gotta delete them back. I don't want to do that yet, and I want to do that. And then next thing you know, he blocks me. I'm like, oh, okay. That's fine. That's okay. Peoples. It's better to be alone than with some idiot. I mean, that's true. I get to spend money on myself. Who wants to spend money on someone else? Sure as heck I don't. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, you might not desire it, but for me, there is moments like I've always been a lone wolf, and I think that's something that like, if you ask people that like know me and stuff, like they will know that about me. That I'm just kind of like this lone wolf, and I don't really have a lot of like friends, and I don't really like hang out with people and stuff. But there's still that desire that you like, that I have at least, where I want to like be with someone, right? Where like I want to like have a life with someone and like create memories. And there's moments like that where I think about, like, the other day I had a conversation with someone about like Christmas traditions, right? And so someone asked me, they're like, what are your Christmas traditions? And I was like, well, I don't celebrate Christmas. They're like, well, why not? I'm like, well, because it's just me. Like, it feels kind of weird to just be celebrating by myself and creating whatchamacallit, like traditions when I'm just by myself. That seems really just kind of weird and like nonsensical, you know? It's just, I'd rather just like live my regular life. So it's kind of like, defeat all stone summoned raiders. Okay, we're gonna do the artisan. I might not do the artisan because that is going into the Ascalon foothills, and that's dangerous. Okay, is that complete then? Yes, these are all complete. Alright, let's do them. You come to me for Christmas. I appreciate that. Oh, I gotta. Oh, I'll turn that on later. That's fine. Well, it's not really about that. Have you tried Boo for dating? I think I have. I tried at some point a few years ago. I had like 8 different dating apps on my phone. 8 different dating apps that I was like actively on every day. It got to the point where I was like, this is like a second job, just trying to like communicate. And like, you know, you start talking to someone and it's always like, okay, I'm gonna put my best foot forward, right? But when you're like on your 3rd guy of the month, you're just like, oh, I don't want to have this conversation again. What are you doing today? How are you doing? What are you interested in? Nah, 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 nah. Like, I'm all about like putting my best foot forward, but like when it gets to the point where I'm like, I have to do that like a dozen times, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like that same mindset that I have about like grinding in video games. I hate grinding in video, like farming specifically. Like I hate farming in video games where I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's why something like PvP doesn't really interest me because it's always kind of the same thing. You know, certain games that are always the same just kind of bore me after like a short period of time, even though they might be good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's me. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna keep that. I think I'm gonna get rid of the smiting staff. I don't think I want that anymore. I think I really need to be more defensive. Doing damage is nice and all, but I need to be defensive. Sounds like about when we don't have pets anymore. My thoughts are always, good, more money, resources. I mean, that's exactly how it is. Like, I cannot tell you when I had eight animals, when I had 3 dogs and they were big dogs, and I had 5 cats, the amount of money I was putting towards cat food, like, I would buy one of those big, like, what are like 20-pound dog food bags, like, every week to every 2 weeks. Like somewhere around that. It was like a week and a half that would last me. Like, and I wouldn't buy the cheap stuff. I would buy the stuff that for like a 20-pound bag cost me $40. So I'm like spending like over like almost $100 a month on just dog food. That's not including the medications, the you know, all the things like shampoo and like, you know, nail clipping, like clippers and stuff like that, like toys for them, treats for them, doctor's visits. I mean, I remember the first out of the 3 dogs. I remember, I don't know why I specifically remember her, but when she got really sick, she had a like a tumor, cancer or something like that, and I spend $1,200. It was like $600 for 2 separate. No. I'm sorry. It was a lot more than that. I want to say it was like $2,000. It was like $1,000 for each visit, and then a month later she passed away, and I had to pay $800 to have like her cremated and get in her urn. It was something like, I remember the amount that I spent in a whole month was $2,800. On like going to the doctor, trying to give her medications, trying to get her the things that I could, and she just like, you know, all of that was for nothing, and I spent $2,800 on that dog in a month, right? Like, that's a lot of money, right? And we're talking, this was in like 2019, 2018, something like that. I mean, it's insane. Like, just the amount of money. I'm just like, oh my god. Reminds me of grocery store attendants, clerks asking how your day is. Do you really want me to stand here for an hour and tell you? That's one thing that when I moved to the United States, I remember that was one of the things that I used to talk about a lot, because and growing up in Germany, like, you would never go into a store and have someone be like, how was your day today? Like, they greet each other and they'd be like, hey, how are you? You know, like, hey, what's up? You know, whatever. Like just keep it really short, like not actually asking the questions, right? And then we moved to the United States, and it was so weird because people would be like, how are you? And you're like, it felt like a genuine question where they are actually asking you how you are, and it's like, you don't actually want to know how I am, right? Like, that's, you know, it was like one of the things I kind of had to learn. You always play against different people, so it's always something new happening. I mean, I suppose I can see that, but to me, it's always, you get the same. First of all, the toxicity of the community in PvP games is always so to me. And I did play games like Paladins, right? Like, I played that a ton. As you guys know, I streamed a ton of that game. But I don't know, PvP games have never really interested me like that. I just want to have that happy pig. I'm gonna have the happy pig while I'm talking. There you go. Happy pig. Oh yeah, just being kind because it's in your job or just a default human thing to do. $100 like 25 meals for me if I bought it right. Um, yeah, I could probably make about, I don't know if I could make 25 meals out of that. Probably close to that, but... Oh, and here's chicken. My opinion, find yourself a 50-year-old woman, easy. They got money from work or alimony. They're looking to settle down, and they'll take care of you. No need for aid apps. Um, you know, I wish it was so easy to do that. Because then you gotta put out, and it's like, she probably had like 2 children, so it's probably not that pretty down there anymore. And for someone that's not into women, that's probably not a good thing. So, you know, it's just... I don't know. Wait, are you German? I am German. I'm a half German and half Serbian, actually. The same thing here in Poland. Here, when we ask someone, how are you? That's a genuine question. And that's the thing, right? Like, and if someone in Germany asks you, it's like a genuine question of, like, how you are, right? Like how are you doing? Yeah, never cared for PvP games. Can't even download them, like you do have. I mean, there's certain ones, like I said, like it's weird because Paladins I really enjoyed, but then I play something like what's the other one? Overwatch. Man, I can't. Overwatch is like one of those games I'm like, no, don't want to do it. I like Guild Wars 2 PvP more than any other game's PvP. I hate it too. I play a lot of Marvel Rivals. I've not even touched that game. I might want to, but I haven't looked at that at all. Okay, I'm not doing this because I'm not dealing with... I'm gonna lose my Doom's Covenant if I go... If I go to the Ascalon Foothills, it's gonna be over with this run, and I don't want to do that. So let's not do that. I already know. Overwatch is empty calories. I don't get the hype. I can see the value in it. I can see the fun that people are having. It's like, it's a dopamine, adrenaline thing. You know, it's like, you know, you get a good combo off. It feels really good. And like, you know, if you have a good team, like there's a lot of... I don't want to do that either. That is all... Oh, I cannot leave. I gotta break this all down and sell and do things. So. Only usefulness is the porn it produced. That is hilarious. Bro, it goes back to normal and kids mean could literally take the trash out or mow the lawn. They'll want the love in, believe me. Oh, there's chicken stuff. Well, because whenever you're here, child labor. Oh, I mean, could child... Okay, I was like, could labor? What? Well, whenever you're here, your input is always so, out of left field. No, I'm glad you're here. How are you, chicken? Sorry, my lips are super dry. I'm trying to... Like, one of the worst feelings is cracked lips in cold weather. It is the worst. I hate it. It wasn't topic. No, I know, but I'm saying it was like left field because it's like no one would have... Like, you're the only one that would have ever written a response like that. That's what I love about you. Rude as fuck. Unsubscribe! Blocked and reported. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Invisible Woman. And now I get to play as her, and she's like 100% my playstyle in Rivals. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to play that at some point, but I'm trying to... I'm trying to, like, get through my list of games, you guys. That's what I'm kind of... And then, of course, like, Guild Wars is always there, and then, like, other games that I'm playing. Oh, there's a new quest over here. Oh, no, that's the one I didn't do earlier. Great, love that. That's so funny. No, chicken, I'm just kidding. I love having you here. Physical damage. I could put that on, right? Oh, I guess I can put that on. Putting that on my shoes. Can't break that down. I can break that down. Oh, I'm sorry. I love you. I hope you're good. Oh, I'm breaking that down. I hope you're doing good, chicken. Thanks for coming by, and I was just kidding. I didn't mean that. Please don't be mad. She's so hot in that southern twang accent. People crack me up. I don't know. There's certain characters that I really enjoy, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not one of those people that's like, man, I want to play this because this character is in. I don't know. Maybe, I guess maybe I'm like that. I like to play my own characters. But if you're really leaving, chicken, have a good night. I appreciate you coming by. This sucks, right? I don't want this. This sucks. I don't want it. Alright. Yeah, I'm still using my holy staff. Any other quests here? No. Not into any Marvel characters. I mean, there's some that I like, but like, am I into them like that? No, I don't think so. Not that I can think of. I really need to get mains. If I get mains, I'm gonna come back for this. Because I need a better armor than 5. It's actually interesting how game men usually love Invisible Woman or Scarlet Witch. I mean, I like Scarlet Witch, but I wouldn't go like, oh my god, Scarlet Witch. Like, I don't know. I like her, and I like the was she in the Doctor Strange movie or whatever? Was that the one she was in? Like, I really liked her in that. I liked her show that she had. Like, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan. Like, I've never been one of those people that's like into superheroes, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what turns me off of that. I don't know. No cartoon crushes. I'd have to really think about that. Like, there's not even, because I watch a ton of anime, and there's like not even like anime characters where I'd be like, oh man, like I don't know. I don't know. Like, Like, there's certain ones I like and that I'm like a fan of, and they're like like I said earlier, for example, like Alistair. I love Alistair. I love him. I love his character. I think he's really cool. I like one of the things I'm really looking forward to for season 3 of Hazbin Hotel is like he's gonna be the main bad guy, and like I really want to see how that goes and whatever. But I wouldn't be like, you know, because I see people that are like, oh my god, I want to fuck Alistair in the ass. And it's like I don't want to do that. Like, not at all. I have none of that. I have no desire in any shape or form like that. You know what I mean? Spider-Man is kind of cringe for me. I don't know. Spider-Man has always been like, there's always been, you know, because he has the, oh my god, there's so many enemies, Jesus. He has that, like, you know, he has all these like funny one-liners, and he always has them like, you know, really like quippy remark or whatever, and you know, there's a certain like cuteness to that where it's just like, oh, ha ha ha, he's so cute, you know. But I would never be like, oh my god, Spider-Man, rip your suit off and do it. Like, I just, no, none of that. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm trying to really think about, like, has there never been a character where I've been like, yes, he's so hot and I love him? I don't know. Like, anything that I think of is like different shows that I like, that I've watched, but like not like cartoony or video gamey. In video games, let me think. In video games, again, there's a lot of characters that I like in video games. Like we talked about, like Lara Croft recently, right? Like, I think she's such a badass. I think she like revolutionized video games in such a interesting way. She's an icon. Like, she's awesome, right? Love her, absolutely love her. But like I would never be like I'd go straight for her. Like that would not. No. Was really into Luna Lovegood when I read Harry Potter. That's cool. I like that. That's pretty good. I don't think there was any character in Harry Potter that I liked like that. They were all like so quirky. It's all what like weird, like because, and I think that's one thing that the movies did right is that they like I'd never read the books first of all, right? But what the movies did right is they cast children as or like they cast teenagers as the teenage roles, right? They don't have like 25-year-olds playing as like 16-year-olds, right? Which so many movies and shows do nowadays. So to me they were all like, you know, I grew up with that and I was like the same age as they were, but to me they were always like just these awkward like weird teenagers, and I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever, you know. There was never one where I was just like, oh my god, if I could have 5 minutes with him, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. Samus Aran, but why? That one is weird to me. Like, why Samus? She barely ever talks in any of the, like in any game. She barely has any dialogue. You don't really get a read on like her personality, really, in any shape or form. So it's kind of weird to me to think about her that way because she's a lady in a suit. And that's pretty much like, yeah, you know about her past and you know about, you know, but you don't really know her as a person. I don't know. Like, for me, there's more, like, I'm one of those people that, like, I don't just go for a physical attraction either. For me, it's a lot about, like, do I like that person? Like, I recently had this where there was a person that I worked with and I thought he was very, very handsome. And I'm like, you know, physically, I have an attraction to this guy, clearly. But then I started to get to know him. And, like, not that he's a bad guy, but I'm just not a huge fan of his personality. And, like, now I think about it, and I'm just like, ugh, no. Like, yeah, you're physically kind of cute, but I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm too old school. I love Gale from BG3. I have not played that. I don't know. Same as because I'm a fan of the manga comics before even knowing the game character. She's very strong and loyal. She has pride about her, but it isn't arrogant. That's kind of, yeah, I mean, I can see that, and I guess that's kind of cool. But it's also, for me, it's kind of weird, and I don't know if this makes any sense to other people, but I'm also, for me, it's important for me to know how they interact with me and how they interact with other people. Because I think many a times that is very important, right? It's the, like, I can read a profile and I can read about how they are to other people, and I can read about their life story, and they can tell me about their family, and they can do, but I don't know how they are in everyday life, right? Like, do they wake up in the morning and are like not a morning person, right? Like I have a guy that, let me tell you guys something, okay? I'm gonna go on a completely different rant, and you guys are gonna, all the people that are here for the gameplay are gonna hate me because I gotta stop for the story, okay? This is gonna be interesting for all of you guys that are interested in my love life a little bit. Gale is a handsome wizard that is secretly in love with you and yaps a lot when he's in your party. See, that already turns me off. I hate yappers like me. I yap too much, and so if I have another person around me that also yaps, it's just not, well, not a good combo. I can just make that up, and all these characters I love me in return. I mean, I guess it's a fantasy, right? So you can make that up however you want. But to me, there's like a realism thing to it. All right, let me tell you guys. So a few years ago, I worked with this guy, and nothing about him, like, he has a pretty like, he's a nice guy. Okay, he's a nice guy. Nothing, I'm like, he's not a hero. He's not a, whatever. He's not like a godsend, like, holy man or whatever. He's a good guy. He has, I think he has 3 children, 2 children. I'm not sure. I know that he at least has 2 children. I don't know if he has 3. Um, and I worked with him, and physically also there's no trait that he has specifically that I would say, oh yeah, this is it, right? Because there are certain features that I like about men, specifically in the face and head region. The body is kind of not really whatever, but it's not as important for me as like certain things in the face when it comes to like picking a specific type, at least. Not that it's required for me to be with a person, but anyways, and for whatever reason, so I worked with this guy for like 2 years, and as far as I knew, like he was, he has children, he has a long-term girlfriend, and he's faithful to her. He's not one of those people, like, he flirts, whatever, right? But he doesn't like do things. He's not like a cheater or anything, and like he's pretty faithful to his girlfriend as far as I know. I don't know, maybe he goes, I don't know, right? I don't know him that well. I know him pretty well now, but I don't know him that well. Well, anyways, so I worked with him for a couple years. After like a year and a half, I realized that I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm really infatuated with him. I wouldn't say that I'm in love with him at this point. This is years ago, okay? Years ago. So at this point, and I'm talking about like back then, at that point in time, I was like really like I was thinking about him all the time. And I was just like, I don't know, something. And like I said, it wasn't anything physically. It was, I don't know, his personality was fine. There was like certain things he said that kind of made like my, you get a little butterflies or whatever, right? But there was just something, I don't know. I don't know what it was, right? Like I just, at this point in time, I have this like really crazy attraction to this guy, and it's crazy. And one day, he gets promoted, and he gets promoted to be my boss. And so he's now my boss, and I'm pretty sure at this point he's suspecting my feelings for him, right? And so, but he's not the type of person that's like thrown off by that or whatever. He's just like, I don't care. He's pretty confident in like who he is and stuff. So he's just like, whatever. We don't really talk about it. We don't really say anything. And one day we get into like an argument, and like it's a pretty intense argument about, it was something work related, but it got to the point where he was like really, really rude to me. Okay, and he was really like, he was like an asshole to me. And it hurt me so. I don't get hurt by that ever. Like, I don't care when people can throw anything they want to me at work. Like, I might get worked up in the moment and like go off on them or whatever, but I never take it personal. Like, I'm never one of those people that like goes home and writes my, like, dear diary, this fucking asshole. Like, I don't do that, right? Like, I leave work and I'm just like, I don't care, whatever, work is work, and I don't give a shit, right? So, but that day, I remember I got so depressed because of how mean he was to me, and it hurt my feelings so bad. And we later on like made up, right? Like it was fine, but it made me really like, that was the one where I realized, I'm like, oh my god, I really have like feelings for this guy, because this really hurt me, and this is crazy, right? So, well, but it was more on like it felt more than a crush, because I've had crushes before, right? Like, I've had crushes on guys before, and I can distinguish between like a crush and someone that I have like genuine feelings for. And like, I was definitely in that part where I had genuine feelings for him, because like I said, when I have crushes, like, oh, I'm like, I see a post online by them, I'm like, oh, what are you posting or whatever, right? Or like, well, I'm gonna message this guy, right? But like, it was literally like, I would think about him all the time, and it was like I would instinctively go to work and like I wasn't looking for his car, but like I would be like, "Where's his car?" Like it was just I I don't know, like innately like I was just like panicking if I didn't see his car. It was so weird, okay? It gets to the point where we had worked together for a couple years and he goes around and we talk about random stuff and we flirt and we joke and never is anything serious, and we talk about like, oh yeah, I'll do this, it's restaurant talk, so it gets really dirty and gets really like you know gross sometimes. We like make dirty jokes and stuff like that, whatever, right? And I'm always joking around with him, but I'm always in my head, I'm always in the understanding like we're just playing around, like none of this is legit, right? Well, at one point he goes around. You saw him regularly work, you could develop things. I mean, maybe that's what it was, right? But at some point, and it completely took me by surprise. He goes around work, and in front of everyone, in front of the owner, in front of all the other staff, in front of like the cooks, in front of like everyone there, he tells them that if him and his long-term girlfriend aren't working out, he's gonna get with me. This guy has openly talked about how he's never been with a man, how he's never had an interest in men, how he's never wanted to be, and he goes around and he tells everyone that if they don't work out, he's gonna get with me. Okay? And I'm like, you can't... I don't know, and so he's the only man, too, that I've ever had that makes me feel flustered, like genuinely, to the point where I always know what to say. You guys know I talk a lot, and at work I'm always like, I always have like some remarks or whatever, some comeback or whatever. But he's legit one of those people that can make me just... He can say something to me and I just completely turn red and I get really flustered and I don't know how to respond. And so in that moment, that is one of those moments. I'm looking at him and I'm like, I don't even know what to say to you right now. You cannot go around telling people that. And he's like, but that's what's going to happen. I'm like, but you can't tell people that. I'm like, you can't just go around saying that, right? So, so next thing you know, completely unrelated to him, I leave that job. I leave that job on completely different, like, had nothing to do with him. But I'm also not one of those people, like, I'm not sticking around at that job hoping for him to break up with his girlfriend that he's finally getting with me, right? Like, I'm not one of those people. I'm not that desperate that I would do that, right? So I leave that job and I find myself a new job and I kind of move on. We never talk outside of work. We never talked outside of work. So I'm working a new job. I'm hearing things from my old job, of course, because I still talk to people there and whatever, right? And I'm always like, hey, how is he doing? Yeah, he's still doing his thing and blah, 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 blah. And so I work the next job for 2 years and then I get a new job. Towards the end of last year, I get another new job. And I'm working this job, and in the summer, last summer, I go to my friend's house, and she tells me, yeah, so he's leaving that job. He's looking for a new position. He's looking for a different place to work. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's surprising. I'm like, he's been with them for like a long time. He was with them for like 8 years. I was like, I'm really surprised that he's leaving the company. I'm like, he's worked himself up to like being general manager and like all this stuff. And my friend's like, yeah, like we still chat like on and off. And yeah, and so he's looking around and he's looking to work at your company. Now, my company at this point has 13 different locations. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I guess like, that doesn't mean he's going to be working with me, right? Like there's 13 locations. We're looking to open 2 more locations by the end of the year. So he might be working there, like whatever, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. So he starts working for the company and he does not work at my restaurant. And I hear about how he is working at this other restaurant, but he's looking for a different position. and he's waiting for a different position to open up in a different restaurant. At the same time, the exact position that he's looking for opens up in my restaurant. So guess what? They transfer him to work with me. So now he's working with me again. And so when I was in middle school, it was a lesbian and she said the same thing in front of a ton of people. It was quite frustrating. I think he tried to make you uncomfortable. No, he was like that's the thing. He wasn't trying to do that. Like he was legit saying that, like that he wasn't trying to like he was just saying those things. And he knows that I don't care what people think about me. Like he knows that I don't care what people think about me. I've never cared about what people think about me. I don't give a shit. Okay? But it's so he now is working with me, and guess what he's doing at my job? He's doing the same thing. He literally keeps telling everyone. He was in front of the area director the other day, and he told the area director, okay, the area director. He tells the area director, yeah, if it doesn't work out with my girlfriend, I'm gonna get with him. And I'm like, can you stop telling everyone that? He's like, but it's true. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, you need to stop saying that. You can't go around. Long story short, like, I'm now stuck working with this guy again, and my feelings are right back in there. And it's so funny because so everyone knows this now. They have figured this out now. So whenever he interacts with me, everyone always gets so giggly. So they're always like, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. So it's like, oh my god. And that's the shit that I get stuck with. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, or maybe he feeds on your attention. He doesn't seem to be like that kind of attention guy. I think he enjoys how, and he's told me this too. He's told me how he enjoys the way that I react. He says that he really likes when I get like all flustered and my head turns red, and he really enjoys that, right? And he like he's so like playfully about that when he says that, and I'm like, cool, thanks. I'm glad that you feel that way. I'm glad at least someone's getting some enjoyment out of my flusteredness, flusterity. I feel like the stalker vibes that he followed you to your, and that's the thing. It wasn't even like that. He was just legit looking for a position, and in our area, we're like the biggest corporation in our area when it comes to restaurants. So it just really happened to be that he was probably just legit looking for a regular job. I don't think he was at all trying to like stalk me. I mean, maybe he did. Maybe he was like, oh, I could work with a Raleigh again. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I'm like, I don't know what you want from me. He's like, I don't want anything from you. And I'm like, yeah, but you're telling everyone, like, do you think I'm just sitting here waiting for you? Because that's not what I'm doing. And I won't be doing that. That will not be happening. Okay, so you think I'm just gonna, like, you break up with your girlfriend and, like, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm ready for you. Like, it's not like that. I will never be like that. So he's gonna have to work. If he wants to do that, if he ever breaks up with his girlfriend, he's gonna have to work on that. And he's gonna have to work on being with me, because I'm gonna need to see some real actual effort. Like, I don't want to just be with you because I'm saying that or whatever, but I want to legit be with you. Like, I'm gonna need to see some effort. Someone's getting pregnant. I just tell him in front of other people that he should make up his mind and then choose you or his girlfriend, and you're not an emergency option. I mean, you know what? I don't disagree with you. I feel like I should do that. I feel like I should just like be like, well, you need to decide between her or me, because I'm not gonna be sitting on someone's back burner. That's why I really that's why I kind of want to just be in a relationship. Just so that I can, not saying that just because of that, but it would feel really good to be in a relationship, to be able to tell the guy, well, I'm not available. So what are you going to do about that? Murder my boyfriend? Oh my god. What if? Wouldn't that be the craziest thing if, like, he breaks up with his girlfriend at some point, and then like shortly after, like if I'm in a relationship, all of a sudden my boyfriend goes missing or something. It's like some real like horror movie shit. That would be insane. Gets carried over. Betty pictures it that way. Yeah, right? Like, doesn't it feel that way? Doesn't it feel that way that he's just like, yeah, O'Reilly's just, you know, he's just waiting for me. He's gonna come to me when I'm ready. No, fucker, I'm not. I'd never be with someone who treats me as a second option. Well, that's the thing. So if that ever happens, I'm gonna be like, well, you're gonna have to show me that I'm your first, like, if you guys break up, you know, you're gonna have to actually, like, I'm not just gonna be like, okay, I'm ready to be with you now. Like, that's not, I wouldn't be completely against it, but he's gonna have to work on it. And I like to take my relationships really slow. So we'll see how that goes. Serial killers do like to play long way. I mean, maybe he's a serial killer. Maybe he's just waiting for that. Maybe he's like, he wants to eradicate all the gays, and he's just doing it like one slow victim every 10 years. I don't know. Also, doesn't he have kids? He has committed so much into his relationship with the point. So why is he saying these things? So his kids end up with a single mommy or what? Well, first of all, he's divorced to the woman that he had the children with. The girlfriend he has she's not the mom. And then on top of that, his one daughter is almost old enough to move out, and his son is actually his son is having a child of his own. So he's actually going to be a grandfather. Which is really funny because I cannot picture him as a I told him the other, when he told me about that, I was like, oh, you're gonna be granddaddy? Like, oh grandpa? He's like, yup. I'm like, wow, I can't picture you. And he's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like, well, maybe he's a closeted gay. I don't know, it's weird because he tells people like, you know, I've never been with a guy, but if I'm, like, ever gonna be with a guy, it's gonna be a Raleigh. Like, he tells people that openly all the time. He's like, I would 100% get with a Raleigh. Like, and it's like, okay. It's fucking weird. So, I guess that's like, what is that, pansexual, I guess? It would make him, like, pansexual? Maybe? I don't know. Is there, like, a specific thing? Are you into gilfs? Everyone's closeted gay. Dude, I believe that. There's nothing gayer than a group of straight guys. There's nothing gayer than a group of straight guys. The way that they interact with each other, I'm like, dude, you guys are just one step away from literally sticking appendages in each other's orifices. Like, that's it. I mean, like, that's all you're missing, you know? Better make sure you keep the socks on, right? No homo. They said they sense the female vibes from my aura, so... Oh, Jesus. I can't. I cannot. What is that? I love how Greek guys are so comfortable with each other. They take showers together. I mean, a lot of guys are like that. Like, you look at, like football players here. Like, any sports people here. Like, they like, all the guys, like, shower together and they... You know, whatever. Like, people in the army too, like, many of them are super comfortable with, like, just being naked around each other, and, like, that kind of stuff. Ooh, my cat woke up. Like I said to people, I need a shirt that says, I ain't gay, I just like dick. I just, you know, I feel like a lot of straight guys should be wearing that. Can confirm, am straight and showered with probably 400 dudes. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, straight guys are totally like, whatever, I'll shower with other guys, I don't care, right? Like, you know, they'll probably like smack each other on the ass too while doing it and just go on with their lives. I would never, but maybe just because I'm gay. I mean, I think I'm at that point. Like, when I was younger, I would have never done that. I think, like, when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, God, that's just, like, I'm like, I don't really... Now, like, if I was, like, if I was one of those people that, like, went to the gym all the time, like, I would not have a problem using, like, the shower at the gym or whatever. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna look at someone in there. Like, I'm not gonna be one of those weirdos that, like, stares at them. Like, I'm just here doing my shit. Whatever, you can do your stuff, right? Now you'd enjoy that. Shower room game called Yankee Doodle. Never heard of it. I have not heard of that. Should I have heard of that? That sounds awful. I also, can we just point out, I love how the guy named Towelette says that he has showered with probably 400 dudes. It was really funny to me. I don't know why, but it was really funny to me. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would have a problem with that now. Like, it's not even about like, oh yeah, I want to shower with, like, I just don't care. Like, if that is the situation I'm in, like, if I'm going to the gym, I don't want to go home sweaty, I'm gonna go take a shower. And I'm not here to be staring at someone. I'm not here to, like, be weird or whatever, right? Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm adult enough to, like, you know, because it's also weird for the guys. Like, I feel like there's some straight guys that probably wouldn't appreciate being, like, stared down like that by a gay guy. So I'm just like, I'm gonna mind my own business. We just happen to be in the same shower room. Who cares? Ow. Rude. Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity. Almost moist, too. Moist. That's what I always say that word because, you know, there's so many people that hate that word. I'm always like, moist. We're like, stop it. I'm like, you like it. Me saying moist makes you moist. You Yankee Doodles when you randomly yank another dude's chunk. Like, Towelette just drops his cowl, and Yankee Doodle is you yank someone else and you yell Yankee Doodle. Moist armpits. Moist critical. Oh, like a critical hit? Is that what you're saying? That's Yankee Doodle. That's fucking weird. Like, who does that? I'm sure there's many straight guys that do that, but like I said, there's nothing gayer than like a bunch of straight dudes. It is crazy how like how gay they can get. It's really, really amazing. Oh, Moist Critical is a streamer? Wow. Get him! Lives here in Florida. Someone with that name? I'm not surprised. Moisture is the answer. Pasta is also. But that's the thing. It's like the weird part about that is that these straight guys will get so freaking gay, you know, and like say the gayest shit about each other, but then be like, yeah, I'm totally straight. It's like, okay. You talked about like doing your friend in the butt, but you're claiming to like I said, you're like literally a step away from, you know, putting some kind of appendage into an orifice of your best bro. But yeah, you're straight. Okay, I guess. I mean, that's fine. I don't know. My thing is that, like, I hate labels too. Like, I'm not a fan of labels. I'm like one of those people, like, even, like, yeah, I don't know, because it's weird, because I've been trying to figure out exactly where I fit in on the spectrum as well, and it has nothing to do with, like, men or women or whatever, but for me and, like, the way that I deal with my sexuality and how I'm interested in, like, what I'm interested in, like, to do with the other man. And it's kind of weird because I've kind of, it's kind of weird because there's certain months where I feel like I'm into one thing, and then certain months where I'm into, like, something else, and it just feels like I don't know what I want. I don't know. So your delta is looking real good, bro. How much you bench? I mean, really, and that happens all the time, right? Like at the gym specifically, they like, you know, like specifically like when a guy has like a really nice ass, for example, I feel like that's always like a big thing. Where they're like, wow, you got some junk in your trunk. It's like, oh boy. Well, on the other side, I'm just so gay. I mean, I don't know, and it's weird because I don't know what to label that. Like, I don't know. I can't really describe it either. It's so weird. So I don't know if anyone really understands what I mean by that, but because there's some days, there's some months where I just want to be physical with someone, and I just care about, like, not that I am physical with anyone. I haven't been with anyone in years now. It's been 3 years now. But like there's some months where I want to be just physical with someone, and then there's some months where I'm like, I don't want to be at all. I just want, like, I wouldn't even care if that other person, like, we could be in an open relationship and I would be fine with that. And then, like, that goes away after, like, 6 months. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, no, I want to have sex. And it's weird. I don't know. I can't. I'm so gay that my auntie had an argument with my older sister whether I will end up gay or trans when I was, like, 5. Well, I mean, that's kind of nice to know exactly what you are, right? I can appreciate that for sure. Like, to the point where, like, other people around you already know what you are. You know what I mean? I gotta get another powder keg. Whatever that is, I just like attractive people. Whatever that is in my brain. So definitely not hard, as that doesn't matter that good. I'm weird when it comes to matters of the heart. Yeah, I don't know. I just, again, like I said, I'm like weirdly in love with this, or whatever you want to call it, with this guy that, like, there's nothing physically about him that I like, and yeah, his personality is fine and all, but I'm like, I don't know. And then there's like other times where I'm like really physically attracted to someone, but their personality is shit, and I just want to have sex with them. I don't know. It's weird. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I don't think I ever will. It's gonna be one of those things where I'm like, and I hate putting, because then again, you know, I hate the labels, right? Like, I don't want to label anything. Like, I don't want other people to label themselves, because I feel like you're putting restrictions on yourself in a way, because you're kind of closing yourself off to other options. And I'm not saying you need to be looking for other options, but I feel like it kind of sets your mind into this one column, and you're kind of like, this is my column and I belong here. But it's like, so I don't want to put labels on anything on myself. So I don't even want to say that I'm like, you know, I'm, you know, just, for me, it's like, I've never found women attractive. So I know that I'm not into women. Like, I've never found women attractive. There was never a moment where I would look at a woman and say, I want to be with that woman, right? So I clearly know that's not what I'm into, right? But, like, I want to keep my mind open for other things, because I feel like maybe I'm not 100% certain what I want there, right? And like, I don't want people to put that on themselves where they say like, hey, I'm this or that, when they don't really know. I feel like a lot of straight men do that. Straight men do that, where they like, because of societal norms, they just immediately say like, yeah, I'm not into that. But then, like I said, they'll go around and be like really gay with their friends, and it's like, are you really like straight, or like, are you maybe interested in guys, or like, are you interested in both, or like, are you just physically attracted to guys, or are you really just playing around? You know what I mean? I feel like with some of them, there's like some blurred lines. I don't know. You're so adorable when you're laughing. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it, you. I'm thirsty. I'm still surprised you can't find somebody. Dude, it's awful. And I'm at the point where I think I don't want to put the blame on like any specific thing. I think it's a mixture of different things. But I think for the most part, it's my location. I think I'm in just a really bad location. Because unfortunately, I live in the old white conservative South. And it's unfortunately like the worst area for someone like me to live in. And I think that kind of holds me back a little bit in my options. Yeah, Florida, specifically Central Florida where I live. See, if I lived in like Northern Florida, or like something like if I was in the Panhandle, like Destin or something, whole different ball game. Or if I was in a location like Miami, whole different ball game. Even like Fort Myers or Fort Lauderdale or something like that, whole different ball game. But where I'm located, forget it. Move back to Germany? No, I'm good. I have nothing in Germany. I have no reason to go back there. Yeah, Key West is like totally just, that's where the gays are at. The thing is, I don't necessarily want to live there because like that's even closer to the tropics, and like that's really not the climate I'm looking for. And also like it's probably really, being a tourist location is probably very expensive to live at, so I probably wouldn't even be able to afford it. So that's also a big consideration, right? Like, I can't just like nilly-willy move around. You know, I have responsibilities and I have things like that. But definitely, I've had a lot of people that would tell me like, "Oh my God, you should go." I will tell you guys, I had a guest one day came in, and it was an older gentleman, and he came in and he offered me a room to stay in Key West. He said, if you ever want to move down to Key West and like get a job down here, I think you do like amazing. I think the people would love you here. You would do really, really well. You could stay. I have a house down there. You could stay there. I wouldn't mind at all. And he seemed really. I mean, obviously he could be a serial killer. I don't know. Obviously, I would probably never take him up on that offer unless I was desperate for, like, if I was homeless, right? Like if I was that desperate, you know. But he seemed very genuine about it, right? He seemed very genuine about the offer, and I was like, oh, that's very kind. And he gave me his number. I ended up throwing it away because I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, you know. So, but it seemed very nice. I was just like, that's very kind. He wanted to be your daddy. I mean, probably, maybe. And who can blame him? I mean, have you looked at me? Just kidding. That's awful. I am not that conceited. Please don't think that about me. I can't get any glittering dust. How do you get glittering dust? I desperately need it, and I cannot get any. I don't know before trusting something like that. I don't know. I've done weirder things out of necessity. Like I said, like being homeless and stuff like that. I've had to trust strangers in that capacity. But yeah, for me, I'm not one of those people that just, oh yeah, I want to live somewhere else, I'm gonna move. That just like impulse and like drops everything. I'm one of those people that like I have to plan it out like years in advance. I have to know exactly where I'm going, exactly where my job is, exactly where I'm gonna be living, how much everything costs, how much money I'm gonna need, have everything prepared, have everything ready. That's the kind of person I am, because I have, as you guys know, it's something I talk about a lot, I have terrible luck in life. So I want to be prepared as best I can, because luck never favors me, ever. So I don't want to be one of those people that's just like, yeah, let's go to Key West, woo! And then just like, next thing you know, I move back a month later because I have nothing there. I love your confidence. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a very confident person. I don't know. Do I seem like a not confident person? YouTube censored me? What did YouTube do? Did they take out your message? I can read it. I mean, if there's, maybe I didn't read it. I don't know. Maybe there was a message I'm missing. All right. We're almost there. This is a really long mission. Hooah! What they sound like. There's aspects of my life that I'm confident about. Like, one thing I'm confident about is like my job, for example. Like, I'm very confident in knowing what I'm doing at my job. And the only reason I am like that is because I watch other people at my job and I see how freaking stupid they are. I'm like, oh my god, these people are so dumb. And they're so incapable of doing even the simplest of jobs. I'm great. I'm good. I got this. Right? Gotta go. We'll be talking with you. We'll be talking with my Mista. Oh, I didn't realize who was sending that message. Well, tell him hi and thanks for coming by. I appreciate you being here as always. And have a good night. I said get that OnlyFans cash. I mean, I've thought about it, but I don't have the body for OnlyFans. When I see some of those OnlyFans models, I'm like, bro, I don't go to the gym. Like, I would have to get a gym membership. I would have to go like 2 hours a day to the gym, really get ripped. I mean, I could do that technically, but I don't want to do that while I'm working, like an actual real life. Really? You guys had to run over there? So now I have to get both groups involved? Stupid. That's really dumb. That's really stupid and annoying. I hate it. And they got rid of that again. They keep shattering my bones. And I'm one of those people, like, working out to me, I've tried it. Like, I do work out a little bit here at home, but like I don't really do like full-on exercises, and I don't like take like an hour out of my day to like sit here and like do all this stuff. Because I don't know, I can't ever find the motivation for it. And people always say like, oh well, you know, it releases like endorphins, and like once you get started you really get into it. It does the opposite. I don't know if there's like something wrong with like my brain chemistry or something, but the more that I work out, the less I want to do it. And so when I get like 15 minutes of my workout, I hate it. I hate my life and I want to stop forever. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's something like in my brain that's like kind of shuts off or whatever. I don't know. It just releases the wrong chemicals or something. I don't know. I don't work out at all. I need to do something. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just, it's rough. But there's a lot of exercises you can do at home, you know, and I think it's about, my thing also is that I can't do like even 30 minutes at a time. Like I can't do 30-minute workouts. So the way that I do some of my workouts at home is I'll do like 10 minutes here, right? And then I'll stop because then I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I'll go in and I'll do like another 10 minutes of something, right? Like an hour later or something, right? Like I try to, why am I still, oh, I need to carry this. Okay. I hate carrying stuff around with me. It's stupid. So it's only like, I try to like kind of, you know, because it's about like, mostly it's about like burning calories and like not, you know, burning calories so you don't gain weight, right? Like, or lose a little bit of weight. Like, because the main part about losing weight, or at least maintaining weight, is like retaining or having a calorie deficit, right? And so it's about, you have to burn more calories than you consume in a day, right? So even if you, like, I'll do it sometimes, like, you know, I'm playing video games and, you know, I have to go to the restroom. I'll go to the restroom. After I get out, I'll do jumping jacks for like a few minutes. I'll just do some jumping jacks, right? Jumping jacks are good because, you know, you move your arms, your legs, you kind of move your whole body around. And just doing a few minutes of that, you really get your heart racing, which burns calories, and you know, you get your body moving or whatever. And you do that for a few minutes and then you kind of stop doing that, right? Or like I'll do like some push-ups, and I'll do like a set of like 30 push-ups, and I'll be like, all right, this is good, right? And I'll do that throughout the day, which kind of helps. You know, I'm not saying that that's like the solution or whatever, but it helps, because then at that point I'm like, I'm burning more calories throughout my day, beside obviously like all the working that I do, all the different like those different things that I do there. You know, I currently walk to work, so that's an extra 2 miles a day that I usually walk, and not all the time. I mean, I have people that like give me rides, especially in the cold days right now. A lot of people are giving me rides, but for the most part, you know. Uh-oh. Knockdown is always bad. Uh-oh. God, they do so much damage so suddenly. Yeah. Guys, do some damage. I don't have any damage. I don't know how to help you. Can we just kill him, please? I won't go to it, but my room is my comfort, and there's like no room for me to exercise in it, and I don't want to do it anywhere else. I'm stuck. I would just get rid of a bit of stomach I got and gain more stamina. I don't even do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to like, you know, you know, I think 50% of any of that is willpower, right? And I say that pretty much to myself more than anyone. It's just really about willpower and willing to like make it happen for yourself. And so in your situation, you're just gonna have to find some way. Like, I get that your room is your comfort, but sometimes you have to step outside your comfort zone, and maybe you have to find some other way where you can go, some other place you can go to do that. You know what I mean? And it just, you know, it sucks, but maybe eventually you'll get used to it and you'll like it, or whatever. You'll find some kind of comfort in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that will become part of your, you know, you can take that as like, I'm taking some time away for myself and I'm working on myself and I can feel good about that, right? Like, I'm trying to get into that mindset myself, because the thing is, I have plenty of space at my home, and I do have some exercise equipment at home that I've purchased over the years, and so I'm like, I don't really want to join a gym, because I'm one of those people that like, when I want to exercise, I want to exercise in that moment. If I have to then get in a car and drive to a location where I'm going to exercise, by the time I get to that location, I don't want to exercise anymore. Lost it, right? Like, so when I want to exercise, it has to be in that moment, and I have to take, like, I have to, like, now is the time, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I need to exercise at home. I used to be a lot more active back in the day. I used to go running all the time. I used to go running like 2 miles every day after work. I would go running, and that was really nice. I mean, I was probably in the best shape of my life back then, but that was like 10 years ago now. So if I start definitely waiting for this cold weather to fuck off. Well, that is another thing for me too. It's like, I hate that, like, my house has been so freezing cold, because it's just, my house doesn't retain any heat. So today is like the first night where it's like actually retaining some heat. But yeah, Spirit Onion Night. But yeah, I don't know. I just you know, I think it's just about like kind of pushing through it. And I know it sucks. Trust me, I'm right there with you. It's hard. So I'm trying to get into some kind of groove like that. And it's also really like I said, it's kind of trying to figure out what works for you, because I feel like when, you know, when people tell you like, oh, you need to just do this, this, and this, and this, and I'm like, oh, okay, half of that I don't like doing, and I hate myself after I do it, so I don't want to do that. Okay, I want to find something that works for me, right? And so, like I said, I don't, because there was one year where I was like, okay, I'm really gonna get into exercising. This was about 5-6 years ago. I was like, I'm really gonna get into exercising, and I got myself this app on my phone that would tell me, okay, today you're doing this, today you're doing this, today you're doing this, right? And the thing with the app was that I was following it, and for like the first month, it was pretty like, okay, consistent, blah blah blah, and then they started ramping it up, and they like started like adding more push-ups and more this and more squats and more sit-ups and more da 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 da, and it got to the, and they had it where you had to do it in like a specific time frame, and you had to do like a specific set in a specific time frame, and blah blah blah, and then they would only give you like a minute in between, and that was like not enough for me. And so it got to the point where it was like really stressful and way too much, because it's like, okay, at this point I'm doing like, you know, 3 sets of sit-ups, you know, back to back, like 30 sit-ups back to back with like, you know, at the end I get like a minute, and then I gotta do like, now I gotta do push-ups, and I gotta do 3 sets, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like way too much. Like this is like, I'm exhausted. I'm only halfway through. Like halfway through I would stop, because I'm like, I'm too exhausted. I can't, like, my stamina, I'm running out, right? And I couldn't keep up with it. I'm like, this is clearly not for me, because they're ramping it up way too much for me, and like, I didn't like that, you know? So I think it's a big problem to say this or this, right? It's looking at these different exercises and finding what really works for you, right? So oh, look, Guild Wars. Okay. What is the big statue in the middle here? Oh, this is just a like a brazier with that blue fire, or that teal fire that they have in there. There we go. Oh, like that was a good look. There we go. A friend I trust said if I start with doing like 3 push-ups, 3 jumping jacks, and 3 sit-ups, just do that every day, it would be for someone like me for at least 6 months, and I could find another routine. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I think I had a friend, and one thing that also I think that a lot of people don't realize is, like, you know, let's say you set that for yourself, right? And you say, okay, 3 push-ups, 3 jumping jacks, 3 sit-ups, and you do that every day. And then there's a day where you only can really get like 2 push-ups done. Okay, and then you're trying to push yourself for that 3rd one, and you can't do it, right? And then you feel shitty about yourself, because you're like, oh my god, I'm regressing, like I'm getting worse at it. I think people need to accept that some days you just don't have the energy and you can't do that, right? Like for me, for example, I usually, when I do push-ups, I get about I can do usually 35 push-ups. If I just drop down and do, I can do about 35 push-ups. Okay, certain days I can do like 40 push-ups. Certain days I only had like 30 push-ups, right? But I think it's a matter of, for people, accepting that some days you can't go all the way, but at least you did something, right? It's about, you at least put in the effort to do a little bit, right? It's also like a mental thing. Like I had a friend that she had a really bad like mental problems, and she kind of, the problem is she never wanted to get out of that because she always used that as a crutch, right? And she was always like, you know, oh yeah, I'm having a bad day and I'm just staying in bed all day, and just, that's how it is. And I'm like, okay, well, are you gonna at least like get up and shower? No, I can't. I'm like, okay. And so, you know, I would always tell her, like, you know, anything you do from that point is like better than not having done anything. I'm like, if you can at least go up and like, you know, not brush your teeth for 3 minutes, but at least maybe if you do it for 1 minute, at least you brush your teeth for 1 minute, right? Or you might, you know, if you take a shower and you don't like, you know, you don't take like a 20-minute shower and completely do your hair and you do all this stuff, like at least you jumped in the shower and like did something, you know what I mean? Like, I think people need to realize it's not always about like maintaining what you have done, but it's always about just like at least aiming to do something, right? And going for those goals is good, right? And trying to increase those and going higher and higher. But it's also about accepting that certain days you just can't do all of it, right? And that's fine, and that's okay. You know, at least you tried, at least you did your best with it. You know, you didn't give up on it. You didn't say, hey, I'm not doing that. But I tried. I did my best, and you know, today I only did 2 push-ups, and that's it, right? Looks like a big ass Stanley Cup hockey up in this bitch. Yeah, it kind of does look like that. I was just watching Fate. What is it? Fate Strange Fake, the new Fate series that's coming out. That's and the Holy Grail kind of looks like that. So I was just watching that today. So sorry guys. I know it was everyone's like, oh my god, what the fuck is O'Reilly talking about? It's like, shut up, no one cares. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, I'm not gonna do Frostgate mission. I'm gonna skip this. I hate this mission. I absolutely hate this mission. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go around. I'm going through Anvil Rock. Oh, we have Sander over here. Let's see what Sander collects. Oh, Frostfire Fang, the one thing I don't have. Cool. What are you giving me? Crichton Pants? Worse than what I have? Cool. I don't care. Let me actually go over here. Shut up and play video game, boy. Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure many people think that. I'm sorry. You guys know me. I go on my rants. And there's also so many different kinds of exercising. Oh, I need one more. Really want to get one more. Okay, hopefully I'll get one here. Out here when I'm going to Anvil Rock. You know, because there's like, you can get resistance bands. You can get like little weights. You can get like a jump rope. You know, there's so many little things you can do as well. Obviously, you know, it requires money to have that, to do that, but there's also like just exercises you can do with your body, you know. Yoga is another one I think people underestimate. Like, yoga might not necessarily burn that many calories, but it helps with your flexibility, and it helps with like other problems. Like I remember a few years ago I had really bad back problems, and I think it had to do with the chair that I was using at the time. This chair is a lot better now for my back, and I have like a proper cushion that I sit on as well that actually like it is designed for your back and stuff. So I don't have that issue that much. I still get back problems once in a while, but you know, being so tall and whatever, it comes with a bunch of those issues. But what really helped me was doing like yoga. And I would find like there was this lady that was like, it was the coolest thing ever. Imagine if the internet came out in Western cowboy times. I do meditation about yours, so maybe I should transition to doing the physical part. I mean, there was like this really cool, and I don't know who the lady was, but I looked up an exercise because I had really bad back problems one week. Like it was like a whole week, and I couldn't. It didn't matter like how many, like, you know, because I take like ibuprofen and stuff, and I'm like, none of this is helping. It's hurting so bad to the point where I can't even like sit up without being in like pain, right? Like, let alone like walk around and work and stuff like that. And it wasn't good, right? And I'm like, what do I do? And so I looked up this lady, and it really, really helped. This lady that does these like yoga videos, right? But it wasn't just that she was doing like, it's kind of weird, and it almost sounds like I'm trying to like like advertise for her, but it wasn't really like that. But I don't remember who it was, but it was this lady, and she was like, she did the yoga thing, but she also had this like ASMR thing where she was like, she would talk really softly, and she's like, okay, and now do you feel the stress just leaving your body? And I was like, yes, I can feel the stress leaving my body. It was so weird because she had this like really like this perfect voice for it, right? And she like made you feel really good and like tingly inside, and you're like, ooh, okay, this is like kind of really helping me out. So, and I did that for like a few days, and it really, really helped me out, right? And so it didn't necessarily, you know, help me lose weight or maintain my weight or whatever, right? But you know, you get flexibility is like one of the things, which is really nice, you know. But it also helped you help me kind of with like my back problems, right? Like it helps you with like those things, right? And I'm sure it probably did other things for my body that I didn't necessarily know, like, you know, that I maybe didn't notice. And I didn't do it. If I had continuously did it, I probably would have seen other benefits of it, right? Like, but I didn't, like, honestly, I really didn't. I just decided to get a new chair at some point in time, because I knew that was like the main crux of the main issue there. But yeah, I mean, you know, anything like that, you know, it's just a matter of just kind of overcoming that mental barrier. And I know how, trust me, I know how hard that is. It is very difficult. And for myself, even today, I tell you guys, today I wanted to exercise before I started streaming. I was like, I took a shower before I streamed, and before that I wanted to exercise, and I couldn't really do it. I did some push-ups, and I did some dumbbell curls, because I have some dumbbells here. They're actually like right behind me on the ground, and that's it. That's all I did. Like I couldn't even do like, I usually do like 2 or 3 sets of those. I did like 1 set, and I was just like, no, I tried. I couldn't do it. You know, I did a little bit, and I just, you know, I feel bad about it because I wish I'd done more, but that's all I can do. And that's okay. Some days you feel like that, and, you know, it's okay. It's just, but the problem is, like, no one's gonna come drag you out of your bed to help you with that, right? Like, if you have a person like that in your life, that's great, that's fantastic, right? But most of us won't have that, and it's pretty much up to us to want to do that. And it's, you know, if we want to live and not have like be in excruciating pain or have heart problems, I mean, you know, it's like, the thing is, like, I talked about that. I talked to my sister about that because our family was very, beside our dad, most of our family, they don't really take care of themselves, and they've all like passed away now. They're all like, all my uncles, aunts, my parents, my grandparents, they're all dead, right? They all died very young. They all died very young. And I talked to her about that, and I'm like, you know, I see that, and I don't want that for myself. Like, our parents, like our mom specifically, like, she didn't exercise, and she didn't really do any of that to like take care of her health and stuff like that. And it's kind of sad. I mean, not that I like, if I died, you know, young, I wouldn't be leaving someone behind, but it's like she did, you know what I mean? And this is kind of sad to me, you know, because it's like when you have children, or when you have people that are dependent on you, or that are, you know, kind of tied to you in that sense, it's kind of like you have like a little bit of a responsibility to them in a way, right? And it's just kind of sad, like if you don't take care of yourself, that's like not just a disservice to yourself, but to these other people. But you know, in my case, it's really just about myself, right? Like I'm just doing a disservice to myself, because you know, I'm prone to all of the things. I'm prone to any kind of cancer you can imagine. I'm prone, because it's all in my family. Our family's had every kind of cancer you can imagine. Breast cancer, jaw cancer, lung cancer, all of them, all of the cancers. I don't like, maybe like, I don't think like anything like pancreatic or anything like that, like prostate, I don't think we had, but like a lot of them, right? And once you're prone to one of them, you're prone to like all of them. And like heart conditions, right? Like my mom died from a heart attack, and you know, it was her third one, right? And both of my parents were heavy smokers, and you know, I mean, it's just, so it's a matter of like kind of wanting to take care of yourself in that sense too, where it's like, you know, if I don't exercise more, I might end up like them and die in my 50s, and I don't want that, you know. I'm of the opinion that you don't need to do all that to live. I've seen plenty just to do simple routines that live long, and there's chain smokers that defy odds. It is, right? It's all a matter of genetics, and truly, but it's all RNG. I mean, for the most part, it is, right? But you want to give yourself the best chances too, obviously, right? Like, you know, I've known people that have like eaten McDonald's their whole lives, and they've lived to be 70 years old, right? And okay, cool, you know, that works for you. And I've seen people. I had a good friend of mine that she was super into exercising her whole life. She was very conscientious about what she ate. She didn't smoke. She like really made sure to like take care of herself, and she died from cancer in her 50s, like a few years ago, right? Like, and it was the saddest thing ever. And it's, you know, but at least, I don't know, it's not just necessarily about living longer, but it's also about feeling better, because I know when I eat healthier and when I exercise, I feel better about myself. It's kind of hard with the job that I have to have a proper schedule and all of that stuff. So it's one of the reasons why I want to step out of what I'm doing right now with my job, because I hate that that I can't set up. I'm killing these because I need I want more of those mains. So it is one of the goals that I have, to get to the point where where I can set up a proper schedule for my eating, for my sleeping, for all of these things. Because I will tell you, there was at one point in time where I had this amazing schedule where I would intermittent fast every day, and I would eat twice a day, smaller meals. I would snack in between, a little bit here, a little bit there, nothing crazy, you know. Not super healthy snacks, but like, you know, like there was some bread involved and stuff, so it wasn't just like, ooh, an apple or whatever. Like, it wasn't just like fruits and vegetables. There was some sweets and snackiness or whatever. But I had a cutoff point every single day. At 6 p.m. I would stop eating, and I wouldn't eat until 10 o'clock the next morning. Okay, that was that, and I cannot tell you guys. And that just, again, not everything works for everyone, but that, for me, I think physically I've never felt better. I felt like more energetic. I slept so well. I felt really good about myself, right? Obviously, at the time, I also didn't have a lot of stress in my regular life, so that probably helped out too. But it was very like, you know, and it felt very like, having a routine like that felt very like, there was something like very safe about that, and very like, you know, I felt good about the situation itself, because I was like, yeah, I'm very like conscientious, like I'm eating healthy and I'm eating properly, and you know, at the time I wasn't exercising. I didn't really exercise at all, but I made sure that, you know, I ate properly, and this was right after it was right after a very, very crap time in my life, because it was COVID, and I was home for COVID, and I ended up gaining 20 pounds during COVID. In 5 months, I gained 20 pounds, and I felt awful. I didn't. I tell you guys, my ass got so big that I couldn't fit into any of my pants anymore. Like legit, I couldn't fit into any of my pants anymore. So when I went out and about, the only thing I could wear were like jogging pants and like leggings and like that type of stuff. Like stretchy pants, like pajamas, like, you know, late at night if I was like going to like Walmart or something, I was wearing pajamas or whatever. Shorts were fine, like gym shorts were fine, but I couldn't fit into like regular jeans. Forget it. I could not fit into that anymore because I'd gained so much weight and I was really, really unhappy. And so I drastically, um, that that's when I was like, I need to, and it just happened to work out perfectly with my job when I got back from COVID, that I could set up this proper eating schedule for myself, and within um within like a month I lost like 30 pounds, and I felt so good. I ended up gaining some of that weight back, and I'm still technically I'm still overweight for my height, but yeah, if you can get a proper schedule in there, I'm telling you guys, it's the best. Oh, I felt so good about myself back then. Look at all the healthy people who got hit hard by COVID, for instance. It's a shit show. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't, you know, you can't always account for those situations, you know? I mean, who could have seen that coming? But yeah. That's just life, I guess. A ruby spotted main. Anyways, we're here on Anvil Rock. Let's talk about the game a little bit. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Let's kill these Minotaurs. There's the peak of Anvil Rock right there. Yeah, really turning off that, like... Because I tell you what, like, turning on the post-process effects kills my FPS. And I'll demonstrate it to you guys as well. It is the craziest thing. So if you guys are having issues with that, make sure you turn that option off. First of all, the game looks better, and second of all, like... Before I go into that Ice Tooth Cave, because right here with all the snow effects, it drops my frames a little bit. So I'm like, what, 82C drops it more and more. So I'm at 90, what is it, 90, 87, 79, 84, right? Let me turn that on. Almost half. 50. It didn't drop as drastically as I thought it would. But yeah, 55. Turn that off. Boom. Oh my god. I jumped to 142, 145. Like, not looking in that direction. In that direction it drops, right? Because there's so much of the snow effect there. Looking away where there's no, none of that, I get over 140 frames. And what it is going to do for April Fools this year, especially because there's one now that has so many new players. Ooh, that's an interesting thought, huh? I don't know. That's a great thought. I'm not sure. Ooh, we have a skills person here. Marna. Anything new? Oh, look at that sucker. While you maintain his enchantment, target other ally gains +1 and +1. But you lose 1 energy each time that ally cast a spell. Okay, well that's fine. I'm still gonna unlock that. I want to have all those skills. Touch target foe takes 16 holy damage. If knocked down, your target foe takes an additional 16 holy damage. That's kind of nice. For like a melee thing, you could combine that with Bane Signet. Drain enchantment. Remove an enchantment from target foe. Enchantment is removed. Yeah, that's what they keep casting on me. They keep removing that. But yay, we got some more skills, you guys. Refrogged and we're turned into frogs. I don't know. I wonder if they're going to do anything. I mean, I want them to do something, but who knows? I still didn't get a main. This sucks. I don't know. I mean, they usually do, every April Fool's in Guild Wars 1. And we did it last year. You get to go do the, you get the commando quests. And I streamed those last year. Because that was the first time that I had ever done them. I had never done them before. I was just thinking of something different. Run! Oh my god, I was on my phone and I shouldn't have been on my phone. I need to pay attention here. Jesus, almost lost. I guess one character isn't enough. One healer is not enough. I'm glad that I did protection prayers then. Can you guys kill these? Oh my god, no, there's more joining. So annoying. And just repeat that over and over again. Yeah, but you know, there's a bunch of new players. Maybe something entirely new this time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to think about it. Like, all the new players, they've never played those old quests either, so... But yeah, it would be cool to have something. Maybe expand on it, add a new quest to it or something. Because they have a couple of quests in there, and they're kind of cool. Maybe have something that ties into Guild Wars 2 or something. They could have that. Well, and Guild Wars 2 doesn't just do, like, Super Adventure Box, but they do, like, other things, too. Because they usually do, like, you know, we had the cat thing one year, and then we had the, like, where we could talk to dogs or something. Wasn't it, like, one year where we had that? Like, they do different things, too. I'm just gonna stand back. You guys can do that there. Everyone always goes for Claude. Add a quest dealing with Utopia, or like where they like lead you to believe it has something to do with Utopia, but then it's not. Where they like, oh, we found like like in Mysterious Island in the Mist, and da da da, and then it like turns out to be like fake or whatever, like do a total fake out. This is not working. This guy's healing way too much, and they're not focusing on this guy at all. Like, focus on the healer. He's the healer. No, I'm not. Stop following Claude. Jesus. Get him. There you go. Cast some spells. He's not running away. Yes, there you go. Now you can attack other people. You get closer and closer to the destination. And then it's a cardboard cutout. Oh, that'd be so funny. And it's like a scrit. It's like the first time we ever see a scrit in Guild Wars 1. And they have like a cardboard cutout. And they're like, ooh, shiny. And they run away. It's like the first time we ever see them in Guild Wars 1. I don't know. I don't know how much effort they're going to put into it. I don't know. I see that there's clearly a lot of effort being put into it. But like I said, for now, all we've been getting is like these new modes. And I'm like, they need to stop with these new modes, okay? Like, we need to get something other than new modes. I don't want to see another new mode because you're just gonna you're gonna just piss people off by doing that. You know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna piss people off because just, you know, having people like make new characters all the time, and it's just like, it just probably is really annoying to people. So, oh, they put SAB into Guild Wars 1? Yeah, with no jumping. Let's see how well that works out. Still no main. You have to type jump to do the platforming? That would be awful. I guess you could assign a macro for that, but still. I don't think macros are technically allowed. So you'd be going against the rules. But like always jumping... Well, the thing is you can't move when you jump, so you just like... Oh my god, they all just like looked at me and they're like, what the fuck? I'm probably gonna head out in a minute, just because I'm gonna be live early tomorrow. I'll be live during the day, so I think I'm gonna go to Beacon's Perch. I think we're gonna make our way to Beacon's Perch, and then I'm gonna head out. That'll be a good cutoff point going into Kryta. And then once we land in Lion's Arch, I'll be able to do a bunch of different things, probably get a bunch new abilities, like skills and stuff like that, that might actually be better, so I can improve my character. New armor that I can work towards. I'm probably going to need a bunch of these bolts here, so I'm going to try to get as many as I can while I'm out and about here. These are all tanned hides. All of these drop tanned hides. Hate that. Still wish ArenaNet would revamp the Sanctum Sprint into Beetle races and add more Sanctum Sprint races tracks. Why would you want that? Like, the part of the Sanctum Sprint, though, is they use the crystals. You can't do that on a Beetle. I feel like that would ruin it. I love Sanctum Sprint. I have such memories of like always running that during season 1. Just running that over and over again. Dang, haven't played this forever. Really? Well, you should. They're bringing it back. They're doing updates to it. We have new modes available. Why am I so obnoxious? Jesus. Love discussion. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Mish. We'll see you tomorrow for the release for the new update in Guild Wars 2. You could have that stuff work with beetles. I don't know. I just want them to like bring in like I just want them to bring in more beetle races. Like, it doesn't even have to be, like, it's not really about that. Like, they could do, like, a Sanctum sprint style, like a labyrinthine cliff track or something, you know? I don't know if I can even play this anymore. I'd probably put 7K hours in this game when I had time. Oh, really? Wow. Well, I don't know. So they brought back, like, they brought a, hardcore mode that like if you die you lose this Doom's Covenant. They added in like an Iron Man mode. Reforged has a couple of like interesting updates where you get like extra XP and like your henchmen are stronger and stuff. So I don't know. And they're looking to update it, right? They're looking to like do other things to it. So you might be surprised with what they'll add in. The way the community designs them, insane hard builds type tracks. Yeah, I don't understand why they don't do that. Like they should definitely like look at some of the community tracks that have been created and just take those and use those or something, you know? I mean, I don't know. Like have people submit their tracks to them so that they technically can say like, hey, we took this, you know, how they did the like design the weapon contest and stuff like that. They could do that. Like, hey, design a track for us and we'll put it into the game. And then you can have like a mode where you go into almost like a royal raceway during Halloween or something, where you go in and you just can pick different tracks that you can race through and have leaderboards for them and stuff. Like make like a whole mode out of like roller beetle racing. Yeah, it's looking really nice. I mean, it was completely like left field that they were updating, that they were doing anything with Guild Wars 1. But they added like controller support, so I can play on my controller right now. So right here is my control. I got my controller out, and oh god, I don't remember how to move. How do I move? I'm closing all the menus. How do I move? Oh, there we go. See, I can move on my controller now. It's a little different, but so you can play it on your Steam Deck with a controller, so that's kind of neat. I hate playing it on controller. What did I just close over here? What was the is there something over here, or did I just move this? Did this just move? I don't know. I know my inventory window closed. That's one of the things. Yeah, that's definitely new. So there's definitely there's graphics updates as well, like slight ones. So there's more. You have like post process if you want that. If you want like all the weird, I have it turned off, but they increased like they have like widescreen support now, because before they didn't really have that. Like ultra wide support or something. Maybe I don't remember. I don't know, but. They have like, as you can see, they have like a lot of sizes here. Increase that. They increase some of the like shadows and some of the things you can do. Like there's more options here. What are some other things they added? They had like little things. You can check, you can have different like login screens. I know a lot of people really like the factions login screen. You can have that back now. You can actually pick out which one you want to have. I like the Nightfall one the most, so I use that. Just a little thing, you know, you can, here's a controller thing, sound base. I don't know if they changed any, like, specific sound things. Guild Wars 2 holiday event called Tyria Limping, so we do full long-ass raids where you have to swap mounts. Oh, that's interesting, I like that. Do a new festival like that. I would like that a lot. But yeah, have a good night. Yeah, so it's making a little comeback. It's making like a slow comeback. Nothing major as of right now. But as far as we've been told, also the dev team, so the people working on it is a team called 2 Weeks, which, as far as I know, I don't know if this team has grown, but when they were introduced to us, we were told it's 4 ex ArenaNet developers that got together and they created this team, and they're now the only they're the developers working on Guild Wars 1 content, and they're like somewhat independent of ArenaNet. They don't have anything to do with ArenaNet. They just kind of work on Guild Wars 1, and like ArenaNet still publishes, or NCSoft still publishes it through like ArenaNet or whatever, right? But we don't know. We know that when they were first introduced, they told us that they're kind of learning the tools of working on this stuff, right? Like working on the game, what it takes to work on the game. Oh, this is gonna be bad. So this is all like a learning experience for them, it sounds like, and we don't know to what effect they will expand on it once they have learned these tools, right? There's only 4 people working on it, so it's not like it's this giant number of people. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely worth keeping an eye on, at least, to see if there's going to be anything. They did update pre-searing a little bit, so if you're one of those people that had a pre-searing character, you might want to check that out. They updated the Northlands with more enemies, some stronger enemies, and they actually added an outpost into pre-searing, which is Pike and Square. Pike and Square is now an official outpost in pre-searing Ascalon, which is crazy. Crazy to think, alright? Alright, we're just gonna make our way to Beacon's Purge, and then I'm gonna head out for tonight. I really hope one of these guys drops a main, because I really need to get this armor, this headpiece. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I had to check my phone. We're almost there. I can see the Dark Mountains. Beacon's Perch is close. Right around the corner. It's like right here, or right here, somewhere over there. Oh no, Protector. Wait, oh, I flagged them. Oh my god, I didn't realize they weren't following me. Holy crap. I was like so just focused on... Oopsies. Where did I flag them to? Hello? Oh my god. Luckily I'm a protection monk, so I'm not too worried about it. There they are. Sorry guys, I didn't even realize I had flagged you far away from me. Whoopsies, my bad. And yeah, so tomorrow I'll be live in the afternoon. The new update for Guild Wars 2 is dropping. And I will be playing that. So it's going to be quick play for raids and raid encounters. We're going to get a new raid encounter. And we're going to get fashion templates. So we're gonna check that out. I don't think it's gonna be super long stream that I'm gonna do tomorrow, and then we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to check out. Just I don't know. I'm just excited to check that out and see how that goes. Oh, I did get one. Yes. All right. So before we head out, I'm gonna go get ourselves that head armor. That's gonna help us because that's a lot more armor. And I'm also gonna check out if there's like a skill person in Beacon's Purge. We're almost there. I actually enjoy being the healer in Guild Wars 1. It's been a while since I've done it. Like, legitimately. But I actually enjoy it a lot. Alright, I think, is this the last group before we get to Beacon's Purge? Yeah, that's it. Cool. Alright. Oh, we do have some. Oh, this is the. Okay, we'll do those quests. I'm not gonna accept those. Or actually, I'm gonna accept those and then just send that way. But that. Because that gives me. Don't I have Divine Spirit already? Isn't that something I got earlier? Oh no, I got Vigorous Spirit. Okay, cool. More skills. I do know I need more skills. So that'll be fine. Okay, we'll do all that next time, but let's go. There's no skills person here. One thing that's always really cool that I've always liked about Beacon's Purge is you can get all the way to the top there. There's no reason to ever go up there. Oh, I'm also gonna buy a new one of those, because I'm gonna use those up. And because I only have 2 here and 4 there. But yeah, you can get all the way up here and like no one ever. Can't you? Oh yeah, from the other side. I went the wrong way. Damn it. I'm gonna do it, you guys. I'm gonna go over there. It's kind of weird because no one ever goes up there. There's no reason to go up there, but you can. Most people think that you can just go up, you know, this is it. Just this little fort. Because there's no reason to go up there, but it actually goes all the way up. And you can look out to Lornar's Pass. Down below. See, because you can go up here and go across the bridge, right? And you can, this is the already playable, because this is where you would exit. So you're already above the playable. There's a shrine there. And you go all the way down there to, oh, what is that in the distance there? Oh, it's one of those, like, buildings that they have. And you go all the way up here to the little beacon at the top. It's unlit. You see across the valley. It's pretty crazy with the draw distance too that they added, the draw distance option, because if you go to graphics and you Oh yeah, and they added the new icons as well. So this is the old icons. This is what they used to look like. And then now you enable that and they actually have high def versions. Many of those apparently were like just kind of like painted over, and many of them like enhanced, like this one for example, you can see on Guardian that they just kind of enhanced it a little bit. But apparently many of them were like completely redrawn. I think all of the signets they said were like redrawn. These aren't even the extreme ones. There's like the Mesmer ones. I think there's many Mesmer ones that look way crazy, way different. But yeah, if you do the draw distance, you can even see right here. So if you like, look at that. This is before the draw distance, and then all this. Like, it's not just the details, right? Obviously, there's like the trees look like shit and stuff, but there's all like, you know, whole mountains that appear. There's like this weird fog, and like that thing, for example. It's like, so this is what it looked like before, and then, yeah, kind of cool. You get to kind of test that out. All right, anyways, that's gonna be it for today. I appreciate you guys. Sorry guys, I had like all these rants going on about everything. But yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna be doing some Guild Wars 2. After that, I don't know. Oh, actually, before I go, I want to purchase that headpiece. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming like on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm gonna see, maybe. But I do want to get Kana to play through finally. I'm doing a playthrough on my YouTube channel right now. Kana, Bridge of Spirits. Trying to do that. And all right, perfect. So we can get this. Awesome. I needed that. All right, we can leave that there. Boom. All right, I got another divine favor point. So that helps with this specifically. That will heal extra, and then I get 7. So like 22, that'll heal for like 22 each time I use a spell on them, on top of the 36 from that. So that's pretty good. That's like 58, so that's like as much as like Orison of Healing does right now for like a regular healing monk. So I have that build into every single one of my spells, so that's kind of nice. It's very energy heavy, but I will have to figure out a way with that. But anyways, I appreciate you guys very, very much. And yeah, so check that out. I'm also kind of gonna try to like maybe do some shorts or something this week. I'm not sure. I've been like trying to upload a lot of stuff onto TikTok, so I've been busy on that. Anytime I'm trying to upload all of the shorts I have on YouTube onto TikTok, and just have that there. So that's kind of what I've been busy with, you know, with shorts and stuff. So, but anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you everyone that was here, and I'll see you all next time.